This is where everything get real. This is where you separate. This where you separate the lies from the truth. Yo, pour me another glass. This is where the people got to shut up and let the judge do. Yo, double up, nigga. 7-Eleven. This is where the Hold on, y'all. We gonna wait till after the show to finish the game, bro. This is where the people got to shut up and let the judge do what they got to do, and let the jury and all them people do what they got to do, because now his family is there, his kids is there, his mother is there, people that love him and support him is there. Yo, get the fuck off me, man. God damn, man. It's crackhead and shit. Yo, tell him to get out of here, man. You gotta go. Crackheads, man. Gambling for cheeseburgers or whatever. I do apologize, man. This is the Henny Report. Matter of fact, let's just get into the news, man. And kill that roach. Kill that roach right there, man. Fucking roaches and shit. Y'all stay tuned. Oh my God, man, this is horrible. Just give me a second, y'all. It's only going to take a little bit. Okay, this is what I want y'all to see right here. Oh my God. The jury pool has finally been seated. They got 18 people there, so they about to get that on the way. Hold on, let me take this sweater off. It's hot as fucking here, man. I ain't never smoking behind the crackhead ever again. Ever again. Lord, I promise I never again. Excuse me, man. I'm over here tweaking a little bit. This ain't the hold on, where it's at. Okay, this is it right here. Whew, Jesus. Diddy trial finally arrives in force. Combs, kids at court with his baby mama. They showed up holding hands. Diddy's fam pulled up the court in full force Monday. Whew! Whatever that is, got me sweating. Locked in, loyal, and leaving no doubt. They're riding with him as his criminal trial is underway. Y'all need to look at this while I go take a cold shower. Reg, get that set up, bro. God, man. Woo! What the hell was that, man? Yo, tell that, get the crackhead out the window and shit. Niggas peeking in the window, man. Yo, y'all watch this. I gotta go take a cold shower. I do apologize, man.
This morning, the federal criminal trial for Sean Diddy Combs is officially underway.
Can y'all hear that?
Combs' legal team and New York prosecutors are set to give opening statements after they finalize the jury, setting the stage for a fiery legal showdown that could last 8 weeks. The case centers around 4 main accusers, including Combs' legal showdown.
Why can't we hear nothing on the stream, man? Oh my God, what happened to it, bro? Oh shit, the shit broke.
That could last 8
or
weeks.
Is it the video?
The case centers around 4 main accusers, including Combs' former girlfriend, Cassie Ventura, who could testify as early as today. Ventura, who is pregnant with her third child, is expected to discuss the allegations of physical and emotional abuse she first made in an explosive 2023.
Where the sound coming from, man? Can y'all hear me out, man? If y'all leave comments, I wouldn't be tweaking so bad. You know what, man? I'm gonna take all this shit off. Put your drones back on. Yo, somebody leave a comment and let me know if y'all can hear me out there. Cause I can't even I don't even know what's happening right now. I gotta check the stream myself, make sure it ain't all the way messed up. Hold on, I'm gonna check it with my phone. Y'all hold on, man. Cause I can't even use the bathroom. They got me working a 9 to 5 with 2 part-time jobs, doing YouTube videos, raking leaves. And this is the middle of the summer, man. So I'm doing shit that people should have been doing during the fall. I'm the cleanup, man. Got janitorial skills on deck. I got applications, no resume. I'm trying to figure it out. Let me get on YouTube and check my own stream to see if I can hear myself.
I switched from YouTube TV to Philo, and it's saving me $600
y'all a year. Wait for this ad to go by.
Flight for my next
skills on deck. This is where the people. This is a shut up. People that love him. Did y'all hear the part about? Did y'all hear the part about the crackhead and the roach? Hold that roach right there, man. Fucking roaches and shit. Y'all stay tuned. Oh my God, y'all heard me when I killed the roach. Yo, do me a favor and hit that like button. Cause without further ado, y'all could hear me out there. He said, man, shut the fuck up. Come over there and smack them glasses. You know, I can't be threatening people on YouTube because that's how people be getting lawsuits. Your punk ass talking crazy in the comment section. And when I finally come see you and you running down a dark alley and get clothesline by clothesline, you going to be the one trying to file a lawsuit. So we don't play that disrespect. I'm going to run it from the top. Now that I got everything working and everything sounding good and looking good, we just going to take it from the top. Matter of fact, start the whole show over, bro. We got 100 people. Oh, now we got 200 people. Just start the show over, bro. We going to take it from the top.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm sure. Start it over, man. Y'all tuned in just in time because Diddy is in the world of trouble, but he got his family, his friends, people came there to support him. He received massive love from everybody that's in his corner. They showed up holding hands. Y'all thought the world was against him, but can't nobody be against him if he got God by his side. And I'm here to let y'all know the Lord is willing and able because Cassie is pregnant right now with babies. They say she about to have triplets. She out here blossoming, living her best life, spending Diddy's money, and he about to be facing life in jail. People want to find some justice behind that. But if he's guilty, he's guilty. But for the people out there, the fans out there, now is the time for y'all to shut up and let the jury and the judge do what they got to do. It don't matter how you feel about it. The public opinion don't stand a chance in this trial. They selected a jury of handicapped people. Some of them can't hear. Some of them can't see. Some of them can't walk. Some of them can't talk. They don't know who the fuck Diddy is. And that's the way they wanted it. It's looking like it's a possibility. He gonna be coming home this week. They done selected a jury. And I feel like these people don't have the mental capacity to know whether Diddy is guilty or not because of the questionnaire they had to answer. It's either they retarded or they don't know what's going on in pop culture. Diddy trial. The jury pool has been selected. They got 18 people up there, but that don't matter when you got his family and friends and people that's willing to testify on his behalf. He did a lot of dirt, but who hasn't done dirt to get to the top of the entertainment industry? Y'all seen the movie Get Shorty. Y'all seen the movie Be Cool. It's a lot of madness that go on out there. A lot of murder on top of that. What Diddy did is light work compared to the stuff that he really did. The stuff they talking about he did don't compare to the stuff that people know that he did in the streets or the people in his inner circle know that he did. But he wouldn't be the only person that ever did it. So did Diddy do it? It don't matter if Diddy did it because they all done it. One way or another. If you an entertainer, you a criminal, especially if you rapping and singing about criminal things. The full jury pool for the federal criminal trial in NYC of Sean Diddy Combs has officially been selected. There are 12 jurors and 6 alternates, and opening statements are set for Monday morning. So they got these sketches, and he in the picture throwing up a heart for his family and friends and letting them know that he loved them and they love him, and whatever happened, they're going to be all right as a family. It's sickening to see him old and gray like that. Bill Cosby shirt is kind of ironic, but what they doing to him is very, very disturbing because Cassie ain't even worth all that. Cassie is still alive. There's a bunch of people that lost their lives behind this man, and he not about to go to jail for life for any of them crimes that he committed. They want to throw him in jail for life because of his relationship with Cassie Ventura. That pool has been whited down for more than 45 candidates, and we have the final list approved by Judge Run Sumerian. So everything is in full effect. The trial is happening. His family showed up, and now we can finally see what's what and how it's really going to go down. For the fans out there, for the people out there, for the spectators out there, now is the time for you to take your opinion and shove it in your ass because it's not going to matter right now. All you could do is sit there and wonder how things are going to go down because when it comes to evidence, the evidence that they have may not be incriminating. Lil Wayne's girlfriend recently came out and let the world know that he kicked her out on Mother's Day. And not only did he kick her out on Mother's Day, she's implying that he got women flown out. And that's what he does. He fly women out constantly. She witnessed him flying women out all day, every day. She said he got 2 coming in this week. He got 3 coming in next week. Hold on. Look at this. This woman is getting ready to spill it all on Lil Wayne. With her allegations, with her story, he might be next. Can y'all see this? Let me pull this up real quick. Y'all stay tuned. We're going to get back to Diddy and his family, but I got to show y'all this as an example. This woman is not playing with Lil Wayne. Plus, she had her daughter with her, implying that Lil Wayne had something to do with her underage daughter. So if Diddy go down, they going to have to double back and start with the Wayne trial because Wayne going to go down. You know what I'm saying? Hold on, y'all. We getting phone calls or whatever. Somebody called in. Let me whoever that was, call back. Cause yeah, I'm in the middle of doing this show, but y'all could feel free to call in if that's what y'all want to do. Okay, we got to get back to the Diddy part of the show. You feel me? Now look at this, y'all. Diddy family arrives in force. Combs kids at court with his mother and his baby mama showed up. So it wasn't just the kids. His baby mothers are showing support too. Rest in peace to Kim Porter. But they starting to see the bigger picture. If he go down, that mean they all go down. If he going through it, they all going through it. If he facing criminal allegations, they all facing criminal allegations. Do y'all see this? Okay, y'all got to look at this wisely too. And put on your thinking caps and stop thinking everything is cap. Diddy's fam pulled up the court in full force, just like the R&B group back in the day. They pulled up in full force Monday, locked in, loyal, and leaving no doubt they'll ride with him as his criminal trial gets on the way. The rapper's kids. Yo, hello. Who this is, man?
Yeah, I'm on that screen.
Yo, we need you to cut that off in the back. Pretty please, bro.
I got you.
No doubt. Yo, we all is. What's on your mind, bro?
Man, lock his ass up, man.
That's easy to say about another brother, don't you think?
Man, let me tell you like this. I really do feel like that Puffy is a major figure, but he never did bring it back home to the black people. He always ventured out and helped out every other nationality.
Hold on, you said he helped out every other nationality but black people?
I mean, I got a black wife, and I feel like, we should keep it like that. When you get money, then you can't just go to the, just keep it. We need to keep it black. Any successful black man needs to keep it black. Don't cross over. Keep it, because they don't like you. They don't want you. They hate us.
Brother, I hear what you're saying, but there's also a lot of belittlement within our community. There's a lot of brothers being belittled as we speak right now. I'm pretty sure you had to deal with belittlement in relationships. And I ain't saying he right for doing what he did and being with Cassie and everything, but if anybody belittled anybody, he was belittling her, especially when he gave her that swift kick in the ass.
I mean, I can't say shit about that. Yeah, that was on tape. That was right there. So you can't rewind the time. You can't say I ain't do that. But Yeah, I think Puffy, he needs to learn a lesson. I think it needs to be. It ain't that Puffy needs to learn a lesson. It's that the black community, we need to take this all and and suck it in. Like, hey, you know what? Let's try to just make amends with our black women instead of just going out and venturing out to people that really don't want to understand you. They don't understand us other than playing basketball or hip hop. You get what I'm saying? So, I mean, trying to get them to understand, that's a whole other generation. You would be a whole lifetime trying to get people to be in on rocking with you, as far as other things other outside of entertainment and basketball or throwing a football down. You know, we don't start business together. We need to start doing things together to show me that you want to be around me other than music. You get what I'm saying?
But you know, I hear what you're saying, bro, and I agree with everything you're saying. But a point I like to make all the time is that he didn't meet his downfall until he started messing with Young Miami. Every dude she ever dealt with wind up falling off like that. So he did get with a sister, and that was the end of Diddy. When he was doing all right before he got with Young Miami.
That's a great point. That's a great point.
Yeah, so he was trying to keep it, black. And I ain't saying she the reason, but it goes either way, man. I feel like men need to respect themselves first, regardless of who you dealing with. Because there's men out there dealing with sisters and they don't respect themselves, and the women they deal with don't respect them neither. And it would be the same situation with any woman of any nationality. If you don't respect yourself, you ain't gonna get no respect from nobody. And I feel like Diddy disrespected himself by continuing to try to put off like he was a young man when we all can see he an old man now that he in court and they can't put the Beijing on him no more. He should have acted his age when he was free and he wouldn't be in this situation.
God, I mean, y'all couldn't say it no better than that. You say he can't put no dye in his hair no more. You're right.
He can't do it, man. But if he would have respected himself and just not saying he would have had to be old and gray, but carry himself like an older man and sit his ass down. And like you said, find him somebody decent that he can build with. He wouldn't be in this situation, but he want to date way younger women and he want to do what the kids doing. He partying with his sons and doing all this shit when he need to be somewhere respecting himself.
You know what, man? We dealing with that in Chicago a lot. I'm on the south side of Chicago. Matter of fact, I stay right around the corner from O Block. And you got these kids, they go wild. Then you meet their parents, and their parents is just as childish as them. It's so, it's crazy. Like, just grow up. Just respect you, adult. I remember back in the day when we was kids, we always wanted to say, oh, wait, when I get grown, I can't wait to get grown. I can't wait to get grown. Now, you get grown, now everybody want to be kids. It's crazy.
You know what the problem, bro? It's no separation. It's no age limit or age gap on social media. The same TikTok dances the kids doing is the same dances they doing with their parents. The same videos that the kids seeing is the same videos that the adults is seeing. So
exactly,
that's the problem.
And
man.
I came up with a resolution on that one. I didn't want to, put no money behind this, but I definitely am putting some money behind this. And I got this idea. I got plenty of ideas, but I got to come up with a album that only the 50 and older can have. If you any younger than 50, you shouldn't be listening to my music. You get what I'm saying? We should have an age discrepancy on everything. If you don't see the kids, they think just because they can go out here and buy your album, they feel like they just entitled as you, or buy the product from you, they just entitled as you. No, if you didn't live these years, you're not entitled to nothing. You learn off experience. You don't learn just because you got money. That's goofy. But I think I really do feel like a lot of older people, they try to mess around with the youth, and they end up getting screwed.
That's what they want. You know, they want to be screwed by the youth. That's the sad part. You got a whole lot of cougars, and you got a whole bunch of R. Kellys out here, and that's the problem, man. People don't want to date their age. They don't want to act their age. People just want to be all in the youth, you know, and the youth can't even be the youth because you got older people too busy still in their youth.
Oh, preach, brother, preach.
Sad,
I'm so proud of this channel, man. I've been listening to you for a minute, man.
No doubt.
And at work, I'll be at work listening to you with the headphones. I almost got fired one time listening, but hey, the truth is the truth, man. And I mean, we can't pay for the truth. You know, we want to experience it and experience it in its whole. And when you got people that's not for the cause, they got a secret agenda. You can easily spot out those red flags and get away because we older. The youth don't know, but we older guys, we know. Hey, if it's one red flag with me now, I'm gone. I ain't even playing around.
Hey man,
you know, like
I respect everything you got going on. When you put that album together, man, send me a track. I would love to hop on the track. We definitely need that 50 and up album that only the grown folks listening to. I want to contribute, man.
Yes, I'm with it. I'm with it. I got some other ideas as far as politics and stuff, but that one got to get off the ground as we speak because a lot of people don't know they place, and they really want to play a party with the kids. I can't stand when I see a young 22-year-old rapper rapping. And somebody thought you look at the person in there, he old, you know, you like, hold on, you letting kids, you up here listening to these kids. I just couldn't do it.
And you know what, bro? Not to cut you off, but I feel like Diddy's kids got to be very, very confused at this point because they never seen their father down like this before. They always seen him when he was up, had money, the best dress. So when they go in the courtroom and see their father like this, it got to be a reality check. Like, damn, is the way we living wrong? Like, can they even be humbled by the situation because they come from money? They never really had to struggle like that.
No, it's a rap for them. They too deep in it. It's like it's almost like if back in the day when we used to say black people know how to survive if we poor. Now you got so many black people that's rich. If they ever get down, if they make a calculator on $5,000, that's suicide. They gonna commit suicide. You know, I could do a lot with $5,000, but I mean, you got people. You want to mold your kids at the same time. You don't want them to be looking down on people, and that's what he did. He had his people. He had his family look down on the help and try to. You know, you heard the allegation with Justin Combs. He tried to mess around with the help. Get the help messed up. You know, they look down on people that's not of their status. But you got to understand, somebody got to be the janitor. You get what I'm saying? That don't mean you ain't nothing. That means you just the janitor for today. Anybody can be the janitor.
Yo, this is some sad business, bro. Yo, I want to thank you so much for calling in. The way you put that almost got me in tears, man. That's why the next time when I go live, you know the number, man. You definitely got to call back, bro. Yo, we gonna holler.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm gonna tap into that album 50 and up, yo. We don't want nothing. If you 49, no, but you know what? I'm 46 right now, but I'm still putting together that 50 and up. I got 4 more years.
Yo, let's do it, man. Yo, I'm ready. Whenever send me the track. You could text it to this number right here. I hop on the track, send it back, and we could put it out on this channel right here. Real talk, man. So much love. We gonna holler at you soon, bro, man. You be good out there. Yo, them phone lines open, everybody. Y'all can feel free to call in if that's what y'all want to do. But like I said, this some sad news for Diddy and his kids because they got to witness him at the lowest of the lows. And that make them feel low. When they look in the mirror, especially his sons, they look in the mirror, they looking at their father. It's something that they never going to be able to escape. His daughters recently went to the Cowboy Carter tour, and Beyonce and Blue Ivy was acting like they ain't want them there because that's bad publicity. You got Diddy's daughters in cowboy hats at the Cowboy Carter tour, and they father an outlaw. So Beyonce not feeling none of that. And it's a bunch of people out there that would rather Diddy come home just to get his black face out of the news. And I can't blame him, because this is shining a negative light on all people of color, men and women. The women he freaked off, the men he freaked off, it got black people looking dusty. Now that his kids is going in and out the courtroom and people know them for this trial, this ain't like the Kardashians, where Kim Kardashian became famous because her father was working the OJ trial. Khloe Kardashian, all of the Kardashians, they became famous and made millions of dollars because their father was working the trial. But OJ's kids, on the other hand, can't catch a break. You ain't seen OJ kids do nothing. They ain't got no reality show, Children of a Killer or Children of the Corn or Children of the Nothing. They not getting the bag out there. So it's looking like Diddy's kids is just as criminalized as him. They come in there holding hands looking like the Chain Gang. Their mother passed away. That's mysterious. And you don't know how they feel about that. They heard the stories that their father probably had something to do with it. We don't know if they go in there to see their father fry. Do they find pleasure in seeing their father suffer? Or do they want him to come home? And if he do come home, will his kids have respect for him? Will they be able to look at him the same, since he ain't got that same prestige he had when they was coming up? Would they even want to be around their father? Is they going to have a happy family eating shepherd's pies? They might have to resort to ramen noodles in the near future. Is they going to stick around for that? None of them said a word as they walked in, dodging questions and brushing past flashing cameras. Diddy's legal team wasn't far behind. Check out what they had to say in the video. So this is the scene of them getting out the trucks. Got lights, cameras. They got their girlfriends with them. They come in there just to see what's going on. They there to check on their pops. Al B. Shore talking about testifying against Diddy. How he gonna testify against Diddy when Quincy's sitting right there in the damn trial? Is it a possibility that Quincy want to see Diddy fry because of what happened to his mother? Do Quincy got a vendetta against Diddy? Because with family, you just never know. It's a lot of y'all out there that got family. Y'all think your family love you, but they hate your guts. A lot of y'all in relationships with people, you think they love you, but they hate your guts. And the reason why people will deal with you even though they hate your guts is because they waiting to see the day that you croak. They praying on your downfall. They want to be the witness to when your ass fall off. Today in court, Diddy's criminal trial officially gets rolling. Jury selection wraps up and opening statements are on deck. So it's all locked and loaded. We good to go. All of this hype, it boils up to this moment. Cassie is pregnant. She about to be testifying, talking about how Diddy did her wrong while she got on the wedding ring and pregnant with another man's baby. Diddy done moved on, made millions, done achieved the Lifetime Achievement Award from BET, got the key to the city. You figure if she was able to go her own way and he let her go, where was the trafficking? Where was he holding her against her will if she was able to move on and start a new life? If you with somebody that's sick and twisted and demented, it ain't gonna be no move on. He ain't gonna leave no room for you to sue. He ain't gonna leave no chance for you to do any of the shit that she did. He let her be free as a bird. And she come back to the trial complaining about something that happened years and years ago. Now, what he did was wrong, but he let her go. Eventually, persecutors are set to lay out explosive claims of sex trafficking and abuse while Diddy's lawyers gear up to fire back with their defense. The money is still intact. Diddy still got paper. And they've been using his name a whole lot in the news. And the last time I checked, he got the word Diddy copywritten. Whenever they refer to him, Sean Diddy Combs or whatever, they've been Diddying it up. Nancy Grace, Fox News, ABC, CNC, TBT, all of that. TNT. Diddy this, Diddy that, Diddy. They got to pay that man for using his name. It's a possibility he's sitting on $1 trillion right now. Do he got the money to fight the case? Of course he got the money to fight the case. When they wouldn't let him out on bond, he still got them houses that he was trying to put up for bond. They ain't let him out. He's still sitting on M's. We might get a sneak peek at key witnesses, possibly even some of the accusers who've already spoken out publicly. So it's people that spoke out and they said what they said, but will they stand in court and look that man in his eyes and say what they've been saying on them blogs in front of a judge? It's different when you on Tasha K or a YouTube blog or something like that and you saying what you saying. But when you get in that court and them people staring at you and you got to put your hand on the Bible and you got legalities tied into it, it might not work out like how they wanted to work out. Y'all got to look at this.
This morning, the federal criminal trial for Sean Diddy Combs is officially underway.
No comment, guys.
Combs' legal team and New York prosecutors are set to give opening statements after they finalize the jury, setting the stage for a fiery legal showdown that could last 8 weeks. The case centers around 4 main accusers, including Combs' former girlfriend, Cassie Ventura, who could testify as early as today. Ventura, who is pregnant with her 3rd child, is expected to discuss the allegations of physical and emotional abuse she first made in an explosive 2023 civil suit, in which she claimed Combs forced her to participate in drug-fueled sex parties known as freak-offs. As for evidence, prosecutors are expected to play a version of this security video.
Oh, damn, I don't want to play that because he rocked and rolled her ass. Hold on, fast forward that shit.
Before Ventura testifies, prosecutors say they will call 2 additional witnesses, including an escort. Combs, who was arrested last September, is charged with sex trafficking, racketeering conspiracy, and transportation to engage in...
Wait. They calling an escort to the stand. But in order for you to be an escort, that mean that it's legal to sell. Say if he buying sex or whatever, if they're sex workers, that's what they do for a living. So if they doing something illegal, that mean they all need to go to jail. That's like buying weed and had a weed man come to the court and speak about how he sold you pounds and pounds of dro. Wouldn't that be him incriminating himself? Wouldn't that be him letting the court know that he's involved in illegal activities? How you gonna have an escort come to testify against him and he's when they sex traffic for a living, when they sell their ass for a living? Somebody said the escorts were licensed. Well, if that's the people they talking to, then he was doing legitimate business with these escorts. The men that he hired to have sex with Cassie, they was licensed. They not some back page, some dudes off the street that he saw, that he met at the gym or something like that. And even if he did, that's what they do for a living. They pay taxes on they taxing their asses. So hold on, y'all help me understand because maybe I missed something here. Hold on, wait.
Before Ventura testifies, prosecutors say they will call 2 additional witnesses, including an escort.
Witnesses include an escort. So they're going to have a sex worker get on the stand so they can decide rather if Diddy was had people sex working or sex trafficking or he a freak. If he like having sex, he paid for it legally. How they going to incriminate him for that? They need to get a crackhead or something to go up there. And Diddy, he got to have the receipts. Ain't no receipts when you buying ass illegally. How they going to do this, man?
Combs, who was arrested last September, is charged with sex trafficking, racketeering conspiracy, and transportation to engage in prostitution.
Sex trafficking, racketeering conspiracy, transportation to engage in prostitution. So he was flying people out. And when he fly the people out, they expect to get a little something for their services. There's girls that do that for a living. Girls will fly all the way to Dubai and let a donkey doodle in their mouth for the bag and come back shopping and paying bills and be waiting to do it again. Transportation to engage. So if they walked over there, that would be different. If they came in their own car or they bought their own ticket, they do show. This is the thing about it. Entertainers do shows in different cities. They have entourages following them everywhere they go. They invite people to participate in their parties. If it's an event, you might get a ticket. You might get 5 tickets. Remember, Big Meech flew everybody he knew out to Mexico with him. That's what people do. That's what the air service is for. People do travel. Transportation to engage and prostitute. Ain't no telling what they gonna do when they get there. They had Diddy. They had a sushi bowl they was eating out of a chick crotch. Hold on, Diddy. Oh my God. How do I even type this? Human sushi? Oh my God. I ain't trying to get demonetized now, but they had a chick laid out on the table and they was eating sushi off of her. Grapes, strawberries, all of that. And you figure, it's a human catering service. Even Will Smith came over and got him a piece. How is this illegal? Because Diddy, he paid people to do certain shit. Hold on, y'all.
And he faces up to life in prison. New York prosecutors alleging in their sweeping to life in prison.
Life in prison. They gonna give him the electric. He gonna have to spend the rest of his life in prison because somebody was selling their ass and he bought it. They try and make it seem like he forced people to get naked. Like he put a gun in their head and told them to strip.
New York prosecutors alleging in their sweeping indictment that Combs used his business empire to carry out illegal activity and abused women for nearly 2 decades. But Combs has maintained his innocence.
How y'all gonna say that and got Clyde Davis' name in the back? That's the man who been funding his business, man. Then they got Delta, sponsored by Delta. Sex trafficking. His organization, somebody giving him the money in order to make this possible. If that's the case, that means that everything on that wall need to be going down with his ass. The Grammys kept his shit alive for the whole 20 years he been doing what he doing. He wouldn't have been able to start a record label if it weren't for Clive Davis. He wouldn't be able to fly people in and out if it weren't for Delta. So these corporations that been funding this man ain't got nothing to do with nothing that he got going on. Now his family in court looking miserable. Them babies confused. They trying to figure out what the hell really. Well, I know where it happened. You know what I'm saying? He sued that liquor company and they put a bag on his head. But as far as the sex, that's just for the public to, convince the public that he did something wrong. When you got, don't even make me get on Instagram and show y'all how it goes down. Y'all seen it. You can't get on your phone without being greeted by somebody's ass. Some random person got their booty all in your face and you ain't asked for it. You get on your phone right now. It ain't going to be hard to find no cheeks. You got older women, grandmothers, bent over with wedgies and shit on social media. Man, hold on. Let me calm down. Let me calm down. Let's just finish this out, y'all. I'm gonna calm down.
Claiming all the relationships were consensual. His attorney, Mark Agnifilo, saying last month that this was nothing more than a swinger's lifestyle, quote, that he thought was appropriate because it was common. Now all eyes are on one of the most anticipated celebrity trials in recent memory.
And Chloe, there were some other celebrities that were mentioned last week tied to this trial. Who else might take the stand?
That's right, Craig. So there is rampant speculation as to who is going to step foot in this courtroom. And some celebrity names have been thrown out there because there was a list called People and Places that was given to some of these jurors during jury selection last week. There were names like Michael B. Jordan, Mike Myers, Kanye West. Now, these individuals, they haven't been accused of any wrongdoing, but will they testify? Will other individuals who will be testifying mention them in what they have to say? We've reached out to their representatives for comment. We haven't heard back, but that is something that a lot of people on social media, you guys, are talking about because people are wondering what celebrities could be taking the stand besides Cassie Ventura.
They need to quit playing these games. They try to turn his trial into a concert. If the allegations was really that serious, they wouldn't be concerned about what celebrities are going to show up to the damn trial. That's like, when the school have a little concert or some shit, or the kids, it's a play, they wondering who going to be there. Now the kids up there performing, but people don't give a fuck about them kids. They want to know if a celebrity going to come to the damn school that day. There's been rumors, at today's talent show, it's going to be a special guest. Well, it could be Future. It could be this one. It could be that one. But, hopefully you can have 1 million people show up, not giving a fuck about the trial. They just want to see if Mike Myers going to come through or Michael B. Jordan going to take the stand or Kanye West get up there and have some. They like, fuck the John Does, the Jane Does, and Cassie. They star power ain't enough. And that's a slap in Cassie's face. She not that big of a star for them to really be excited like that. And she pregnant. That's gonna hurt their whole defense or whatever the case is. They don't even know how to remind people what Cassie did besides date Diddy. People don't know now one of her songs. And if they know one, they only know one. She gonna come in there hobbling with a sob story. Like, before I got married and started having babies, Diddy had me doing freaky things. Yes, I was a bad girl with a bad boy. He gave me $30 million, but I still feel pain because I haven't been able to move on. My mind, I can't. Like, you look like you moved on to me. He ain't do you that bad. Life is like... You got his money in your pocket with another man's family. It couldn't have been that hard. She looked like her mental stability is all the way there. She on the phone texting another BBC, her real baby daddy, while her husband at work. She's standing out there with her hand on her hip, texting the next month, talking about the baby dropping a couple of weeks. Once trifling, always trifling. And I don't mean, she can't even get her big ass in the house. And no disrespect to Cassie Ventura. But damn, they say she about to have twins. She having healthy babies. Ladies, for the women out there, when you move on to your next, are you still worried about your ex? Somebody answer that. Somebody call in and answer that for me. When you move on to your next, are you still worried about your ex? Especially if you got $30 million out there. Why would you continue to want to see him fry? I'm starting to think that they forcing Cassie to go along with this. They the ones that made her do the lawsuit because she wasn't pursuing nothing. She obviously was doing her own thing after Diddy. She left that life alone. She ain't never not put out no complaint or make no statement or no tweet about how Diddy did her dirty or nothing like that. Out the blue, after he sued that liquor company, here come Cassie. And they want her to do this, and they want her to do that. It's a possibility that her husband is putting her up to all of this. It's a possibility that he wanted her to go get that money. They got mouths to feed. Just think about it. They got mouths to feed. He was working for Diddy once upon a time. And y'all know what's crazy? It'd be a bunch of brothers. I had a caller call in and tell me that her father, and hopefully she listening, she said that her father, a black man, owned a company and he had an Asian wife. And when her father died, his Asian wife married the janitor, who was a Caucasian man, and now the janitor owns the company. As soon as her father passed, she was thinking that her father left the money to the Asian lady and she was going to do right by his family. Nope, she took all that money and gave it to she was messing with the janitor. So Diddy was messing with Cassie, and she fell in love with her personal trainer. He the man with the millions and cajillions. He making a little bit of money personal training. She leave Diddy and get with him and then go get Diddy's money. Now Diddy money is his money. And Diddy in jail and her husband living it up. And she about to go to trial to make sure Diddy go down so she can go home with her kids and her husband and they live happily ever after. Ain't that fucked up? So for you brothers out there, you think, man, I bet he wish she would have never gave her a fucking dime. He thought he was doing something with this chick on his arm too. You couldn't tell him nothing when he was with Cassie. Now she the reason he facing life in jail because of her account. Well, if you want to sum it up, Cassie put Diddy in jail. They used to, and like I said, I don't think that she wanted to do it on her own. She wasn't thinking about Diddy, but they made use Cassie to put this man in jail. They reached out to Cassie. I'm pretty sure they forced her hand in all of this. They had to convince her to do it. They probably had some dirt on her and said, look, if you don't do this, you going down with them. Because you was there. They probably show her pictures of her in the act. We got you in this. It's only one way out of this. And you're going to have to participate and help us take this man down. Now, if you don't want to, when this shit hit the fan, you and him is the Bonnie and Clyde and all of this freak off sex shit. Because they originally said that she was the one that was hiring the men and finding the BBCs online so they could come to the party. And Puff wasn't engaging in those sexual activities. He was just pleasuring himself while she was doing her thing. That's just my theory. I don't know for sure, but this irks me to see that it's going down the way it's going down. Okay, y'all need to look at this real quick. Like I said, them phone lines still open. Without further ado, let's get into this.
The final phase of jury selection in Sean Diddy Combs' federal criminal trial is getting underway. 12 jurors and 6 alternates. They are expected to be seated this morning, and then opening statements begin. We could see also the prosecution's key witness, Combs' former girlfriend, Cassie Ventura, testify today. You remember that CNN last year published a hotel surveillance video from 2016 showing Combs attacking Ventura. He has pleaded not guilty to the charges of racketeering and sex trafficking. If convicted, Sean Combs could spend the rest of his life in prison. CNN's Lee Waldman is outside the courthouse, and this really is all going to really get underway today. But what is expected or could happen today?
Kate, good to be with you this morning. So we're still waiting for that final phase of the jury selection to get underway. It was supposed to start a little more than 10 minutes ago, but as we saw last week, more delays in the morning. We saw at the end of last week 2 of those potential jurors were dismissed for cause by the judge. Then he put a delay on the whole thing, saying we're going to move those final stages of the jury selection process to this morning. That's what we're hoping to see happen any time now. In less than 30 minutes ago, Kate, it was a flurry of activity behind us at this courthouse as we saw people make their way inside of the courtroom. One of Diddy's accusers actually in the front of that line waiting to get inside. We also saw Sean Diddy Combs' mother and his children arrive and enter inside of that courtroom. We saw boxes of what appeared to be evidence being wheeled inside as well. But we're hoping to get the jury selected, sat, sworn in, and then to have those opening statements get underway. Another expectation that we have today, we're hoping to hear from some of the government's witnesses. They said they're hoping to present 3 witnesses this week, and that includes Cassie Ventura, like you mentioned, longtime former girlfriend of Sean Diddy Combs. She's seen as one of the central witnesses to the prosecution's case. In addition to Ventura, we're also expecting to hear from an escort who is seen as a witness in this case as well. We heard last week from the defense they're planning on attacking Ventura as well, saying that she was mutual in the domestic violence in this case, saying that she was violent toward Combs. Combs nodded his head yes whenever that was presented by his legal team in the courtroom yesterday. So we're waiting for Combs to arrive. We're waiting for this final stage of this jury selection process to get underway so we can start to hear some of those opening statements and hear from some of those witnesses expected to be called, Kate.
Absolutely. All right, let's see what happens so far yet this morning. It's good to see you, Lee. Thank you very much.
All right. Yo, play the music real quick, man. Turn it up for me, because there's a few things I gotta say. He was in a relationship, y'all. And relationships are not easy. Y'all know that. I know that. We know that. Relations, and I'm not making excuses for him. You figure if you got millions of dollars, a relationship should be easy. It shouldn't be no drama there whatsoever. But when there's drugs involved, then that's the problem. You know, when you dealing with somebody and you on drugs and they on drugs and y'all on some Bobby and Whitney, of course y'all gonna be whooping each other ass. He looking for the last piece of crack and she don't put it in her pipe or whatever the case is. Or she don't snort it the last little bit and she keep on begging. She be needing and wanting and all that. And he got to provide for her and he need his fix. And they just in there doped out, binging in the hotel room. They said Rick James did some crazy shit. Like they say, cocaine is a hell of a drug. And Diddy was definitely on it. Cassie was on it too. That's what rock stars do. I'm not saying it's right. But they was in a relationship, a drug-infused relationship. They wouldn't be the only ones. Yo, let me show y'all something, man. It's only going to take a quick second. Have you ever listened to this dude rap? This is junkie rap. He a junkie rapper. He fly though. He a functioning addict. He love drugs. It's all about drugs. It's all about drugs. He pop a Molly. Man. This man to put a pill on your tongue like it ain't nothing. I don't know how many baby mamas he got. He never short of a female, even though he a junkie and he rap about being on dope. Women love this. They gravitate towards this man. They love it. If you want that shit, I've seen it firsthand. It'd be a bona fide crackhead and it'd be women looking like, all right now. They don't give a crackheads get cheeks too. If they ain't even got no money, they still out here having babies. That's where you get the term a crack baby from. The more fucked up you is as a black man, the more women you gonna get. That's a fact. The more down bad you are, you ain't never gonna be short of a female. And that's why a lot of successful brothers, it's hard for them to find a chick because the chick don't want you unless you down bad in our community a lot of times. And even if you up, you still got to be fucked up in order to really get chicks like that. You gotta, if you got $1 million in the bank and you trying to bang broads, your best bet is to have a drug problem or something wrong with your ass as a black man. Or else you gonna have to go out there and find, you gonna have to do something new. All them intellectual brothers, them geeks. Matter of fact, let me show y'all one. Just so we can nip this in the bud and move on, and we ain't never got to talk about this again. What's the nigga name? Hold on, I know it, isn't it? What's the nigga name? I'm gonna find him and then we're gonna move on. Okay, that's his name. Look at this. Look. Hold on. Yeah, this is what y'all need to see. Y'all ever seen this brother on YouTube? The tech guy? He'll tell you about the iPhone 6, iPhone 14, all that. He'll tell you about them Tesla trucks. He be going on and on about the new gadgets and gadgets, and he got like 100 million subscribers right here on YouTube. He very intellectual. Sisters ain't checking for him like that. Unless they gonna dog his ass out and call him a bitch ass nigga and take every dime he got. He be posted with Oprah. He all about that tech life. Can't find a sister to save his life. Let's just be real. But if he was the doped up tech guy, he snort a line and tell you what that iPhone 6 do, shouty. He have a bunch of chicks chasing him down the street, man. I know it sounds messed up, but somebody got to keep it real. If Diddy was a lame and Diddy moved on to Microsoft technology and he had the button up on the Tiger Woods shit, he wouldn't get no love in the hood like that. But that's Negro here, no there. Diddy was in a relationship with Cassie in order to keep his swag, in order to keep his sauce. Matter of fact, I'll do y'all one better. Remember the movie Ray? Before Ray got popping, he was just some lame blind motherfucker that played the piano. It wasn't until he got on them drugs, that's when he got the sauce. When he started doing drugs, that's when the chicks came calling. That's when the music was hot. When he was that lame with them bifocal glasses on, can't even see with the cane, wasn't nobody trying to help him or do him no favors. Soon as he started fucking with that shit, his whole life started changing. Got chicks chasing him down the street. Oh, Ray. Had chicks giving him money on the other side of town. He don't even live over there. He got a chick out in the suburbs somewhere breaking him off a bag. He get off the bus with a walking stick. Headed to some chick house and she giving him money because he on that shit. If you having girl problems, I feel bad for you, son. You better get you a blunt or do something. Like, look at him with his high ass. Nigga, I know you on that shit. What you doing? That's when they want to get all friendly. Like, your life fucked up. I want to make sure it stay that way. Yo, whenever you down bad and you at the worst in your life, that's when the love of your life gonna come into your life. Like, I was fucked up before I met Benita, man. Yeah, standing at the bus stop, had a hole in my sock, sandals on. I was fucked up, and out the blue, here come Benita, man. She been in my life ever since. This dude's out here crying in the Bentley, can't get a date. They pull up to a chick with money in their hand, like, love me, hold me, come give me a hug. Can't get a chick to look in their direction, got degrees and shit all on the wall. Don't nobody give a damn. And them be the main brothers in the club talking about, you can't break my soul. You can't break my soul. Because they can't get a sister to look in their direction. I'm tired of it, man. Somebody got to say this stuff. Okay, I said too much. All right, I get it. Y'all ain't feeling that. Let's just get back to the Diddy news. Because the sisters have spoken. I'm just going to move on and shut up. Y'all ready? Okay, let's get back into this.
Celebrity names have been thrown out there because there was a list called People and Places that was given to some of these jurors during jury selection last week. There were names like Michael B. Jordan, Mike Myers, Kanye West. Now, these individuals, they haven't been accused of any wrongdoing, but will they testify? Will other individuals who will be testifying mention them in what they have to say? We've reached out to their representatives for comment. We haven't heard back, but that is something that a lot of people on social media, you guys, are talking about because people are wondering what celebrities could be taking the stand besides Cassie Ventura.
She looked like she excited for that too. Look at this.
Very shortly, we could see opening statements in the federal trial of Sean Combs. Just after 12 jurors and 6 alternates are chosen and sworn in. Combs has pleaded not guilty to charges of racketeering and sex trafficking. If convicted, he could face the rest of his life in prison. With us now, CNN senior legal analyst, former federal and state prosecutor Ellie Holding. It's all really getting started this morning. Ellie, walk us through the charges.
Yeah, John, we are in federal court downtown Manhattan, a couple miles from here, and that's important because our charges are federal charges. Now, the lead charge is what we call a racketeering conspiracy, meaning Sean Combs allegedly was part of a criminal organization that committed multiple interconnected crimes. What are those underlying crimes? According to the prosecutors, sex trafficking, kidnapping, drugs, guns, arson, and obstruction. Now, John, you may notice something unusual about this particular racketeering conspiracy, which is it's one guy. Now, there's allegedly other people involved, but Sean Combs is the only one who's ever been charged with this. Watch for the defense to play off of that. Beyond the racketeering, there also are sex trafficking charges. The first set involve force, fraud, or coercion. The second set do not. And there's a huge difference here because if Combs is convicted of the force, fraud, or coercion, he's looking at 15 to life. If he's only convicted of the non-forcible interstate prostitution, it's 0 to 10. So big difference there in the charges.
Huge difference in the severity of the possible sentences there. What are we talking about in terms of evidence and witnesses?
Yeah, so the witnesses are going to be key here. This will be a victim-driven case. The primary victim has been designated victim number 1. That is Cassandra Ventura, who is Sean Combs' long-term girlfriend. She will be a key witness. She's actually the only witness victim who has decided to use her own name. There will be maybe 3 other victims who, if they testify.
This is people pointing the finger. Everybody was involved. That's like it's a bunch of kids in there making a bunch of noise and you kicking the door. What the hell y'all doing in here? And all the kids point at one kid and he start crying. And they all, ooh, knowing damn well it was too much ruckus in there for it to only be him. But they picked the one to blame. And a lot of times they always pick that one to blame. And if you got any sense, all of them need to be in trouble because y'all always in here playing, jumping around. The fucking bass break. What y'all in here doing? Who broke the bass? They all gonna point at that one kid and he gonna start crying because he don't know what to say. If you guilty, the majority rules. But if y'all all in there horsing around, y'all all in there acting up, y'all all need to get somewhere and sit down. You can't punish that one kid in front of the other kids just because they said that he did it. Y'all all did it. I could see if he was in there by himself. That's what they do. They pointing the finger. They got Cassie. She was the main one in there playing. They kicking the door. They kicking the freak off. Cassie, she handling about 3 of them motherfuckers at a time. While Diddy sitting on the couch, he ain't got nothing in his hand but his own meat. The police kicking the freak off. Cassie they all in the bed with Cassie. And Diddy sitting on the side just looking because he too old to get up. His bones cracking and everything. I'm tired of it, man. They got a victim. She the head victim in charge. United States versus Sean Diddy Combs, a.k.a. Diddy. Witnesses. Man, get this out of here, yo. Who put this together? A.k.a. Diddy. They had to put some bling on it. Sean Combs, a.k.a. Diddy. Like, we don't know who the he is. United States. Whew! This making me mad. I just don't understand how childish can they be with all of this, man. They need to grow. They all need to grow up. Every last one of them talking about freak offs and baby oil and all. This is childish at this point. You know what? I'm gonna just do this for myself. Y'all could stay. I want y'all to witness it too, but I got to do this for my own mental clarity, just so I can get a better understanding of what the hell is going on here, man. And I ask myself this question every time I go live because it don't make a lick of sense, y'all. Yo, hold on. Let me get this together for you, man. Yo. Hello. Who this is, man?
Hello, hey, John. How you doing?
Yo, I'm doing all right over here. I'm over here trying to figure it out about this Diddy situation. What's on your mind?
I just wanted to call and say I was watching some history about slavery and how they used to treat the slaves and make them do certain things. Mm-hmm. And it was breaking it down, right? Especially about the males. And a lot of that stuff that they said Diddy was doing with people, it was already done during slavery time. And I know people don't want to think about that and hear that, but it makes sense. So Terrence said Diddy tried to, get down with him. And he mentioned something about butt breaking. That was brought up in the history.
Mm-hmm.
So they need to make it make sense. Like why he was doing these things. Were people being forced to keep his clout and his status, like all of them. And now they got Jay-Z going against him because it's all set up that way for Jay-Z to stay on top. I'm just saying, like, that's what it is. And then they got him lined up, They started that shit with Michael Jackson, people before Michael. Now they on Diddy. They trying to get Jay. Who next? People not thinking about that. And another thing I want to mention about, I was watching one of your shows, and it was like black famous men prefer to have a white woman or a foreigner woman like Shannon Sharp. Well, what's wrong with black women if they get a rich man? Do they ever try to take the man down and sue him for rape? You never hear that story with a black woman. It's always the white woman. I think they use this certain type of women to take the man down. That was brought up in the slavery history as well, was the reason why they was getting hung from trees and killed, eaten by dogs and all that type of stuff behind a woman.
That's a fact. That's nothing but a fact.
Yeah, but when they mentioned that butt breaking, and I heard that in the history, it made me thought about what Terrence was talking about. Because at first I thought he just was talking. But all these things that they're accusing this man of, Michael and all of them, was already done during slavery. And that's the part they're not bringing up. Why certain type of women have rights? Mary J. Blige and Lil Kim got beaten too. Nobody ain't worrying about that. Ain't nobody bringing that up. Mary them not even talking about it.
That's deep.
Tina was with Ike. Tina was married. Everybody know what Ike did Tina, but did they drag it out into the media like that? Think about it.
Yeah, they didn't do. Well, they did a whole movie on Tina Turner. They've been talking about Ike and Tina for decades.
Yeah, but did they bring it out like Cassie did? Did they? Did they go raid Ike out? That's what I'm talking about.
Shit, it was a different time back then. If they had social media back then, Ike would have got raided for sure.
He still can get raided. He's still alive. That's what I'm saying. Like, time makes a difference. And then I don't like how they bringing up all these trials and all these court dates and what's going to happen next every day of the hour. And we never saw this man in court. When OJ was accused of Nicole, you seen OJ sitting in court every trial. It wasn't no graphic picture. We seen Young Thugs. It wasn't no graphic picture. What is man is that for real?
Yeah, that's, it's all entertainment at the end of the day. So, they got to keep it entertaining for the people while they do whatever it is they doing behind the scenes. As long as the people is entertained, then, that's the whole point of all of this.
That was brought up in the slavery days too, how they used to use them to entertain them, make them dance, do certain things, you know. Like they had Meek Mill hopping like a rabbit. Like people need to think. Why these normal people that was raised up in normal families turned out to be beasts and animals all of a sudden because they got money? It's a rule about keeping their money though. They ain't gonna just let you keep that like that. They got to have something on you to take you down. I hope people will wake up and really think.
But you know.
But I mean, that's all I had to say.
I hear what you're saying, sister. Boy, I hear everything you're saying about the slavery and all that. But that got to let you know that we've been conditioned, for the most part, to be willing to do things for other people. You know what I'm saying? Other nationalities. There's gatekeepers that have keys to open doors for celebrities. And a lot of times, in order for them celebrities to get in the door, they got to go through the gatekeepers in order to get in the door. And a lot of times the gatekeepers, people like Quincy Jones and, you know, Will Smith, like LB Shaw, a whole bunch of people got in the gate through Quincy Jones. And Quincy Jones was tight with Clive Davis. So Diddy got in the door with Clive Davis. All the gatekeepers that's holding the keys and running the game been around for a long time. And if you know anything about the jazz era, when jazz was the big thing and big band music stuff, all of them jazz artists playing the flute and all that, tutti frutti. That's where you get the word tutti frutti from. They tooting them damn flute. Shit was fruity.
Right.
That boy Dizzy Gillespie blow that horn. So and I ain't trying to disrespect the elders or the legends or nothing like that, but that boy blow that horn so hard, eyes be popping out his head.
But then at the same time, when you're giving people certain amounts of alcohol and drugs, they're liable to do anything. You know what I'm saying? They're not in their right state of mind. And then once you get them hooked, that's when you got them. That goes for anybody. But then there's a chart. You see, there's a chart. Like you have a chart to decide what type of woman you want to be with, what type of level you want to be on in life. It's a chart. Make the right decision. That's why it's a give and take thing when it comes to right and wrong. And if fame and money gotta cost you this, I don't want it. That's how I'm starting to feel. I mean, damn, to be on top of the world, you got to go through hell and burn in hell before you die too. You can have that shit, man. I don't want that.
Yo, that's real, man.
My dignity and my spiritual is everything to me.
Mm-hmm.
And that ain't got nothing to do with no money and no fame.
Yeah,
it's all a natural being.
That money talks, though. You know, when you get to thinking, you know, I'll be set for life. I'll be able to get the house I want. I'll be able to do things. And a lot of times people take the money because they want to do things for their loved ones, their family and friends and stuff. But you have to realize that it's a lot of evil that come along with the money. And it's not necessarily, it's not the money that's evil within itself. It's the way, you know, people willing to do whatever it takes to get the money. So when you got it, it's a bunch of people around you hiding who they really are. You attract a lot of demons when you have a lot of money. You could be as holy as you want to be. You could be all about the Lord. You could be all about your spirituality, but something about that money attracts demons, and they gonna come.
That's true.
Yeah. They gonna come in disguise. They ain't gonna reveal themselves for who they really are, but you constantly gonna be tested with that money.
You're right too, because that's how they got T.G. Jake, right? That's what they saying about that. You know, he was a spiritual, a God spiritual man. So yeah, and a lot of those artists, they start out in a church.
Facts.
Yeah. But I mean, I just thought to speak my mind on it. You know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, we need to keep our culture and stick together. Like Black lives do matter, and I don't mean it in a racist way. I mean it in the fact of us coming together and standing in unity and really, you know, looking out for each other. Stop going against each other. Like I don't have nothing bad to say about it at all. I just feel like we need to pray for him and his family, because at the end of the day, they're bringing this man down, but who really gonna be suffering is his kids. That's how they get him. They start with the head. His woman already dead, and now they attacking his kids.
Yeah.
People ain't looking at that. You know what I'm saying? A bigger picture. They trying to bring the man kids down, the whole family.
Yeah, that's so
but
true.
At the end of the day, everybody got a choice, though. You know what I'm saying? Diddy made some choices too. So I mean, shit.
Well, I mean, we got to realize too that this case is a lot bigger than Diddy. We all on trial at this point because he looked like me, he looked like you, he looked like us. We on trial as a people, and every time one of our own get in trouble like that, we on trial. Because can you imagine if somebody like, and I like to use this for an example, if Jackie Chan was in a major trial and you see his Asian kids getting out the truck and they going into court and he being accused of doing this and doing that, I'm pretty sure every Asian person will be like, damn, we on trial. But we so separate, we so against each other, we don't look at it like that. We like, he on trial. You know what I'm saying?
We vulnerable. And people posting them comments and banning their feelings and saying, well, everybody got a freedom to speak their right, their opinion of the fact of the matter too at the same time. But what I'm saying is, we don't stick together like other races.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. You don't think people know that shit? That's why this. Man, I was working at a store, I'm gonna tell you, and the Diddy situation was being brought up last year. The white lady came out and told me, she said, you know why they doing that? And I said, why? She said, because he's black. She said, have a nice day, honey. That's all she said. And I couldn't believe that. It kind of hurt my feelings, like the lady was talking about my father or somebody when she said that. She said that's the only reason why they bring it out, dragging it. You hear about it, seeing about it every minute to the hour of the day, because he's black.
Shit, I'm glad she know that. A lot of us don't even know that. And they know what time it is, but a lot of us, we don't know what time it is. That's the messed up part. They know us better than we know ourselves, man.
But the cool part about it, we good people though, Sean. Why they feel so intimidated and like why we so dislike? But then you wanna be like us though.
I don't understand that part. I don't understand that part when black people be like, they want to be like us and look like us and dress like us. I need somebody to elaborate. And I think that they may want to make a mockery out of us, but be like us, I don't think that's the case. Sometimes people like to mock people all the time. People will make a mockery out of somebody all day, every day. That's what blackface is, making a mockery. People will live their whole life as a mockery. They had a nose, their lips, and everything just to mock you and never take it off. It's not a compliment. People be like, oh, they want to be like us. They want to dress like us. No, they want to mock us in the most negative type of way, because when it really boils down to it and the police show up, that all that shit gonna go out the window.
Yeah, it's just crazy to me because everybody got a category. But why you gotta come over here messing with ours and tying ours down or making setting the stage for it?
Because there's no army to protect nothing against anybody. Hey, this is another point I want to make while you on the phone, because in the black community it's divided, and now it's divided to the point to where you have black men and black women, and we not on the same page. So this is the point I want to make real quick, and I want all y'all to listen at this. How would y'all feel as women if Michelle Obama or somebody of her caliber was on trial? It'd hit home a lot different than it would with Diddy, because it's like, oh, well, fuck them. But when it comes to a woman, if Oprah Winfrey or Viola Davis or a woman, Beyonce, was on trial for something, it would hit different with the women. Don't you agree?
Yeah, I mean, because Michelle a black woman, but I don't know if it's gonna be dragged out like they dragging it out with Diddy. And then one person was telling a newscaster that Diddy is not on file for him abusing Cassidy in the video. He's going to trial because of the RICO charges and all that other stuff or whatever, you know. And they're trying to say, how could, you know, it be that abusive when you was remaining to be with him several years after that too, you know? Like everybody goes through things in relationships, like you were saying, you know. But it's the choice. Like I keep going back to the choices. It's the choices you make. She made a choice to stay. And then now you want to come out, you're making a good point too about her being with that guy, the trainer. And now it's kind of like he plotted up on Diddy. He was already messing with Cassie, so, you know, like, yeah, we're going to take him down, take the money, but the nigga broke. You need Diddy money to keep up. Think about that shit.
Yeah, that's real, man. That's real. That's crazy, man. Yo, we want to thank you so much for your call. You called in and put it all the way down. Don't be no stranger neither. Make sure you call back the next time we go live, man. That woman, she had a lot to say that I already said. But when she said it again, it let me know that she was listening to everything that I said, because she was saying what I said again. And it reminded me that I must be doing, if people regurgitating and re-explaining to other people what I said as if they said it, then my videos must be educational to a certain extent. And that's the whole point of me making these videos, so that no people out there learning and able to access and reassess and reiterate what I've been saying. That makes me feel good about what I've been doing, because what her opinion is, we'll never know. But what my opinion is, it just been restated to let me know that I'm able to relay messages to people that people can understand. Now it's starting to make sense. The comment section ain't nothing but a bunch of stuff I already done said. People really don't have their own opinion. Said black folks been used up by the entertainment. I say that on every video. Michelle doing freak offs, the way she be with them celebrities, the way she be at them parties and them events. Look at this. Y'all need to see this, man. Cause she been out with Diddy too. She been partying with and that's what threw off the whole Obama administration, because Michelle Obama was doing way too much. She on BET, she on talk shows, and she's chasing this celebrity and fame. Like, you supposed to be the white lady. She on Jay Leno yakking it up. Like, go do some White House shit. She was all about that fame. And that's what, and I hate to say it, but that's why a lot of brothers was like, no, we good on that, because he's supposed to be the man. He's supposed to be in the spotlight. You figure, let your man shine. Let your man do his thing. But no, she all on BET and all that. Look at this. She had the BET Awards, Queen Latifah, Maya Angelou, Jada Pinkett, getting all that shine. She up there with Mariah Carey, Stevie Wonder, Spike Lee. Like, when her movie coming out? Who said she was in the entertainment industry? She got to live out all her dreams of being a celebrity because her husband was the president of the United States. She yakking it up all on BET all day, every day. And she wasn't even speaking about nothing in the presidency. She talking about her take on hip hop and R&B, who the hottest rappers in the game. They was thinking about having her up there at Power 105 with DJ Envy. She was going to take over for Angela Yee. She had all the gospel shows. They were doing too much. But that's Negro here nor there, man. They had her ass was on 106 in Park with Bow Wow and the Roxy chick. Man, I can't believe my eyes right now. She went up to 106 and, man, somebody let her album come out. Or she should have dropped that when she was still hot. But no disrespect to the first lady or whatever the case is. Michelle proudly honors her girl Beyonce. Man, get this out of here, yo. And remember that shit she did? Look. And you got to be careful with this. Remember when she had Dwayne Wade's son all on the news talking about, you're doing a good job. That's good for you. Like, yes, I am officially a girl thanks to you. Like, Ray, that's so good. Hey, but that's Negro here nor there. I'm going to leave it alone. You know, we got to get back to Diddy. Like I said, them phone lines still open. Let's get back into this.
I will be using pseudonyms, fake names to protect their confidentiality. Important to note, though, the prosecution said on Friday they're having problems with victim 3 who does not want to testify. They have subpoenaed that victim. That's risky for prosecutors. Also, of course, there is the video, the surveillance video from 2016 in a hotel showing the vicious attack by Sean Combs on Cassandra Ventura. And of course, there's other evidence alluded to in the indictment. We expect to see some of these bottles of baby oil and lubricant from these so-called freak-offs. We expect to see firearms and ammunition that were seized during search warrants at Sean Combs' homes. There should be drugs also alluded to in the indictment and medical records of the victims showing that there was force used.
When you see these RICO cases and you see here like 8 weeks of testimony in this, you tend to say, oh, this must be a complicated case. What about the defense, Ellie?
So I think the first defense is going to be this was consensual. These were long-term relationships. And even if, John, even if these were abusive physical relationships, that would be a state-level domestic violence charge. But that would...
He act like he doing the weather with this BS. He got his hand like the weatherman and everything. The Diddy forecast. Guns, arson, obstruction. He just the crime boss of sex, the diddler. Where he put his penis is illegal. He's a sex menace. He's incriminated for sex. I bet Bang Bros somewhere shaking in their boots. They work the Diddy trial all day and go home and watch some porn. Like that a girl, that's it, you dirty slut. Yeah. They do the Diddy trial and go home and watch an orgy online. There's somebody in the jury right now. During the Diddy trial, he keeps sneaking booty pictures and shit. They on Instagram looking at booty pictures during the Diddy trial. Like, I need to take a bathroom break. The lawyer in the bathroom telling, oh, mama, oh, mama, oh, mama. They need to grow the fuck up. Like, they ain't no people out here doing freaky things. I'm going to shut up. Y'all listen at this.
Would not necessarily be a federal racketeering conspiracy. Relatedly, I think you're going to see the defense go after the victims, the witnesses. They're going to say, first of all, these were consensual relationships. Second of all, though, I think the defense is going to try to cast doubt on the motivations. They're going to point out the fact that all of these victims have civil suits against Sean Combs. And so I think the defense is going to say this is a pile-on. They're all trying to get their names out there. They're all trying to make money. So that's what I expect to see from the defense.
Yeah, in many ways, as complicated as many facets of this case as there are, it does get down to the issue of consent, a very classic defense in cases like this. How do you expect this will play out?
So here's the process, and we're told it's going to take about 8 weeks. Sometimes I think, though, those estimates, I know from my own experience, end up overestimated, and then the trial ends up being shorter. Jury selection should conclude today. They'll narrow down to their 12 jurors and 6 alternates. Then today, we will get into opening statements. Prosecution will open. By the way, the defense does not have to open at this point. I think they will in this case, but they have the option of choosing not to do that. The prosecution will put on its witnesses and evidence. The defense will put on a case if it chooses. Then we will see closings. The jury will then get the legal charge. They will deliberate. And at some point in June or July, they will return a verdict.
So right here in opening statements, you talk about the defense. They don't have to. Elizabeth Wagmeister, our great reporter who's been way out in front of this, just got some information. The defense, Sean Combs, excited that they can finally tell their side of the story.
There you go.
That's where you'll begin to hear it.
We'll hear that today, probably.
Ellie Honig, thank you very much.
Sean.
CNN anchor and chief legal analyst Laura Coates is outside the courthouse today. Laura, a lot to be expected.
You know, America is a big country, and there's shit going on all across the world right now. that needs urgent attention and urgent focus. Now, there's other news happening out there, I guess, but it's not more important than this news, obviously. And for the sake of me and for the sake of my sanity, I need to see what's going on in the world outside of the Diddy trial. And I need y'all to come along with me. Trump says China will open up to U.S. business, suspend trade barriers. What the hell? What is he talking about? President Donald Trump said China agreed to open after the two countries agreed to temporarily slash most of the tariffs on each other's goods. So, is shit gonna be cheaper or no? Trump said that maybe the most important thing to come out of trade talks with Treasury, security, whatever, the U.S. and China's officials said they struck up an agreement to pause most tariffs and other trade barriers for 90 days. So what's going to happen after that? So we got 90 days to buy some shit before it goes sky high. President Trump said Monday that China agreed to open up. Trump offered a few details about that development, but said it was maybe the most important thing to come out of the high-level trade talks between the two superpowers in Geneva, Switzerland over the weekend. We have to get it paper, he said, the White House before signing an executive order on U.S. drug prices. But they've agreed to open up China. Man, ain't no telling what they working on, man. What's about to happen? If that go bad, everything go bad. If it somehow don't work out, then all hell gonna break loose. Israeli-American hostage Aiden Alexander returns to Israel after Hamas release. Well, damn, no wonder they talking about Diddy. Dun, 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 dun. Da, 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 da. All about the Benjamins, baby. It got more celebrity bling. That other shit cool, but it ain't got Kanye West attached to it. Michael B. Jordan got the hottest movie in America. It got him attached to it. Got Mike Myers. People know who he is. All about the Benjamins, baby. It got more flash because of Diddy. He's still a number one ticket. People would rather talk about Diddy freaking off than any other thing that's important. That's like instead of paying your bills, you go to the Dairy Queen real quick. It's only $5. Shit cheap. Compared to the bills, you might want to treat yourself to something. Before you treat yourself to some of that serious news, you want to treat yourself to some Diddy. All about the Benjamins, baby. What y'all want to do? Want to be ballers, shot callers, brawlers, be dipping in the band with the spoilers. He need to just go ahead and do a little dance in the courtroom. That'll make everybody happy. If he want to get let go, he need to get up in the middle of the trial and do that Diddy dance. Man, that's going to sway the jury. And be like, order in the court, order in the court. This what he need to do. Hold up. Let me type this in real quick. Oh my God. He need to do this. This will save his whole damn career. Y'all see this? Look. He get up and do that shit in the court. They gonna be like, oh shit, like let my nigga out of jail. They need to have him on the news doing that. I guarantee you, they gonna let him walk that same day. Like the diddler did the Diddy dance in court today. Like here he is, very reminiscent of his video with Craig Mack. He still has it. Like we would hate to lose such a talent. You know, he brought so much flavor and inspiration to American society. Before Diddy, it was kind of bland. We would love for him to, you know, just be a free man once again. And America needs it. Like bad boys come out and play. Yeah. America love a bad boy. Billy the Kid, all of the legends, the Cowboys and shit. What we gonna do without Diddy? Hold on, look. he stand up in court and do that real fast, they gotta let him walk. That's like having Ric Flair in court and he get up and say, woo! That will sway the jury to make people want to get him out of jail. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I had to make this video real quick to let y'all know what was going on. One more thing I want to share with y'all. Y'all got to see this.
All right, welcome back. Opening statements are expected to begin today in the sex trafficking and racketeering trial against Sean Diddy Combs. The jury will be chosen this morning and sworn in. Combs is facing federal sex crimes and trafficking charges. He's pleaded not guilty to all 5 counts. Robin Nunn is here with me now in Studio 57. She's a trial attorney and legal analyst. You've practiced in these very courtrooms that everything is going down. Great to have you here with us. The jury is being sworn in, but the judge has said he is worried, he said last week, about the jury getting cold feet. Explain the gargantuan challenges here in seating such a jury for a high-profile case like this.
Yeah, Errol, this is really tough. There's not too many people who have not heard of Sean Diddy Combs or the circumstances surrounding this case. This is going to be a really fascinating trial, but we're dealing with a very high-profile celebrity, defendant. And there's a lot of attention, and it's quite common, quite frankly, in these sorts of high-profile cases for jurors to be unsure of whether they want to make that type of commitment.
Talk to me about what it's been like so far for you in the courtroom as you've watched some of this unfold, and who some of the high-profile witnesses might be this week.
Well, it's really interesting. We obviously haven't heard opening statements yet. That's set to begin later this afternoon, hopefully, if jury selection is completed. But we're starting to hear some questions to the potential jurors that are indicating of what might be to come. Names such as Michael Myers, Kanye West, Michael B. Jordan, people that we haven't necessarily heard before today are starting to come out as possibly part of this trial, which is really interesting.
And
ladies and gentlemen of the court, now is the time we're going to start name dropping. So we need everyone to take a seat. Are you guys ready? Yeah. All right, here we go. Michael B. Jordan. Woo-hoo! Mike Myers. Yeah, fucking yeah. You guys ready? Yeah. Kanye West. Bring him on. Yeah, bring on Kanye. Bring Kanye. Diddy gonna be looking like, what the fuck is going on in here? That's what they expected. They anticipating the celebrities to come and shut it down. Yes, he was freaking off with Cassie, but most importantly, Michael B. Jordan will be mentioned. And don't forget, there's a possibility there will be mentions, not that they're coming to court, but there will be mentions of Jay-Z and Beyonce. Kanye would do more harm than good, as crazy as he is. Your Honor, Diddy did to me what I did to my cousin. Did you hear my new song? Well, yeah, I did a song about how I sucked on my cousin when we was kids. So, I need to be in jail. Not Diddy. Matter of fact, take me to jail. Lock me up. I don't mind going to jail. I done some freaking things, Your Honor. That's enough of Kanye West. They get Michael B. Jordan up there. Is it true you played butt-naked basketball with Diddy and Jamie Foxx? Sometimes you got to do what you got to do. I was a young, aspiring actor. I wanted to get my shot in Hollywood. And, they offered to play a celebrity game of ball. So, I was there. But when I got there, I didn't know it was butt-naked basketball until Jamie Foxx told me to take my pants off. So Jamie Foxx made you get butt naked and play basketball with Diddy? It wasn't just me. It was Morris Chestnut there. It was a bunch of other celebrities. All the Wayans brothers was there. And I figured since everybody was doing it, it wouldn't be a big deal if I played butt naked basketball with Diddy and Jamie Foxx. Is it true Michael Jordan is your father? No, but his semen is in my DNA because my mother also attended the freak offs in the 80s. Are you heterosexual or homosexual? Like it's both, Your Honor. In order to be in this industry, you got to be willing to flip the coin either way it goes, Your Honor. Look, there you go. Hold on. I want to see him. Y'all got to see this. Because Jamie Foxx spilled the beans. And I think that's why he ended up in a coma, because he told how Michael B. Jordan got his start in the game. You know what I'm saying? He let people know that you get invited to these celebrity events, and whatever is going on with the fellas, if you ain't participating, get the fuck out of here, man. If they playing butt naked basketball and you ain't hooping, well, hell, we ain't gonna stop what we doing and sit on the sideline and talk about what you got going on. If you want to get in with the brothers and you want to be a part of what we got going on, nigga, drop them drawers and grab that ball. Hold on. Let me see if I could. That's where they get the celebrity basketball game from. Except for when they do it on TV, they fully dressed. But when they do it at Diddy house or Jamie Foxx house or something like that, then shit. Matter of fact, I'll do y'all one better. Y'all seen it before. Look. Y'all stay tuned and hit that like too. And the phone line's still open. Hold on. No. Let me do this. Now, y'all seen it before. And they told y'all how it go. Charlie Murphy said Prince invited them back to the house with all of his pals, his whole fruity entourage. What was their name? The Revolution. He asked them to come back and play some basketball at Prince's house. And once they got done, he fixed everybody some pancakes. If that ain't zesty, I don't know what the hell is. They playing ball, smacking each other on the ass, and he come back with them flapjacks. He said they had on the shorts versus the blouses. So in real life, if they playing basketball with Prince, they was playing D. Hard D. Somebody had to D up Prince. If you want to get physical, basketball is the sport. And ain't no telling how touchy-feely they was getting. Charlie Murphy, Eddie Murphy against Prince and some of the prettiest dudes in the entertainment business. They said them niggas was pretty. They said they ain't know if them dudes was men's or women's. And they was playing one-on-one basketball at Prince's house, and they had their shirts tied in a knot. Like, come on, I got the ball. Come get me. Like, I'm right here. Basketball at Prince's house. But that's Negro here nor there. If you want to be a part, if you want to be down, look, even Eddie Murphy added to his version of the damn Prince story. I'm over it, man. I'm done. And get this, y'all got to see this. Hold on. I'm typing with one hand. T.K. Kirkland, the dude that be like, who raised you? He have his hat twisted to the side, talking about how much I love women, Vlad. One of my most favorite things in the world is a beautiful woman, man. Like, yeah, women is special. I love the ladies. He was at those damn Eddie Murphy parties, Charlie Murphy parties back in the day. Like, whatever y'all fellas doing, I'm with it too. Don't forget about me. Yo, shout out to T.K. Kirkland. Boy, he was there with Eddie and all back in the 80s. Now he an OG in the game. John Staley was there. He said that he got strange friends. It is what it is, man. The entertainment business is a weird business. It always been that way. And something that changed my life that had me realize what it was this. Hold on, let me show y'all real quick. I ain't know what I was getting myself into I didn't have a clue until I read the stuff I read in this book. I ain't know that's what I was getting into. I thought I was just gonna read a book about a famous comedian that was clearly fun. This man fucking hilarious, man. But when I read the book, I'm like, wow, I didn't have a fucking clue. If you read this book, you basically know what time it is in the entertainment business. What Kanye West talking about, what he went through in his childhood, and he ain't the only one. It's starting to seem like that's what it takes to get famous like that. Or you got to be, you can't be a lame about it. You got to know what time it is. And a lot of them rappers, they've been in jail. So they all the way with it, man. Don't nothing surprise them. When they get in there with them Hollywood executives, they did a dime already. They don't already serve time. They ain't surprised about somebody being zesty. But that's Negro here nor there, man. All right, here we go. Let's get back into this.
Of what might be to come. Names such as Michael Myers, Kanye West, Michael B. Jordan, people that we haven't necessarily heard before today are starting to come out as possibly part of this trial, which is really interesting.
And what potentially could these witnesses, what do they want them to say? What's the information that needs to be provided so that the prosecution can make its case? Because in many ways, they would have to implicate Diddy in some of these allegations.
Yes, I mean, he is facing life imprisonment. This is racketeering. This is sexual trafficking. These are huge charges that he's up against. And usually in those cases, you see a lot more defendants. It's not usually one solo person, like one individual. And in this case, you don't see the 40 defendants that you would expect to see in a racketeering case. You have one person. So these witnesses that they should be calling are really going to have to provide, I was involved, I saw this happened, and we don't know yet. And supposedly one of the breaking news events has been that one of the witnesses that they've added to the case has gone missing. They can't find the victim number 3. The prosecution has just said this morning they're unable to locate. So now we're down to 2 victims.
Wow, this is going to be stunning. It'd be great to have you back and continue to talk about this. Robin Nunn, thanks for being here.
Thank you.
This is getting deeper and deeper, y'all. It is getting real deep.
Expected on day 1.
Guys, I'm so excited to be bringing our live podcast worship night to my hometown of Atlanta, Georgia, Sunday, May 18th.
Day 1 is finally here for Sean Diddy Combs. He is, as you said, facing life in prison if convicted of all of these 5 felony counts, all of which are very serious. Racketeering, prostitution, you have sex trafficking, all this combines to have the equivalent of life if there's a conviction. There is a really important thing happening today. Of course, we don't have the final jurors. They were afraid, I think, of having people maybe over the weekend, Sarah, get a little bit of cold feet, and they're going to seat them finally today. So at this moment in time, the prosecution and the defense have no idea who these 12 jurors and 6 alternates will be to decide the fate of Sean Diddy Combs. They're also going to have some very important witnesses today, not the least of which is the prosecution's star witness, his girlfriend of many years, Cassie Ventura, who, of course, we saw victimized in that video.
Who's speaking on his behalf? That's what they need to be. We know that the world is against him. We know everybody want to see him go to jail. We know Cassie. We know it's like 100, if not more, victims out there. But who's willing to get up there and speak on his behalf? How come Stevie J not in the news right now? Because I'm pretty sure he would be more than willing to get up there and speak on Puff's behalf. Do they even care about people that's willing to speak on his behalf? Because if not, then it's a lopsided ass case. A lot of them be like that. Man, if he go to jail for life, that's when people gonna start saying what I've been saying. That's when people gonna start saying what I've been saying this whole time. That's when people gonna snap out of it like, hold on, wait a minute. Like, what about justice? Where's the justice in all of this? Where is the facts? Show us the paperwork. Where is the evidence, the DNA? Because somebody giving their own personal account of being with a superstar and saying it wasn't consensual, then it's some discrepancies going on there because people have motives. Shit. If I need a lawn man and I see somebody mowing the lawn, I'm gonna hop out and say what's up. Like, yo, you think you could, cut my grass? If you need some money and you see somebody that got some money, it's plenty of people that drive nice cars, and people stop them all the time and say, hey, well, what is it? What do you do for a living? How is you able to afford this car? They be all in your shit because you got a nice car or you got some nice clothes. Y'all women out there know you look good. You smelling good. You got your hair done, your nails done. It's going to be a million chicks coming up talking about, well, where did you get those shoes? I love your shoes. They want to spark a whole conversation and be your buddy, your pal, because you got some shoes that they like. So just imagine what it would be like if you had a music video on the damn TV. How many people gonna stop you and be like, oh, I seen you. I love your video. I just went off. I was watching the video. I love that part when you do this. I love that part when you do that. That's my favorite song. How many people come up to them talking about, oh, I went to school listening to your music. I was raised up off of your music. Diddy and Diageo part ways in settlement of racism accusations. That's what really kicked him in his ass. Diageo and Sean Diddy Combs announced the end of their partnership in a joint statement Tuesday. So this is when it fell apart. When this happened? January 17th, 2024. This is right after Cat Williams said, all you big thick deviants is getting exposed in 2024. It don't matter who you with, Diddy, TD, Jakes, all of them, they all getting exposed. Combs had accused the spirits giant of racism and said it neglected vodka and tequila brands he promoted and co-owned. The statement said Combs will voluntarily dismiss his lawsuits against Diageo with prejudice. So they made him shut that shit down. He tried to sue them. They agreed to go their separate ways. They pinched him so hard. When there go the bosses. Musical artist and entrepreneur Sean Diddy Combs, along with Diageo Chief Marketing Officer Deborah Kelly and Executive Vice President Guy Smith, as Diddy announces his partnership with Diageo North America and Ciroc Premium Vodka at a press conference at Stone Rose at the Time Warner Center in New York City on October 24th, 2001. Like, we're glad to have you, Diddy. Like, it's going to be amazing. We're going to sell millions of bottles. Like, yeah, get my people on board. Whatever I do, they want to do it. Whatever I drink, they want to drink it. Make Sean John clothes. Got every black man in 50-mile radius Sean John on. They've been dancing to my music for years. I'm the damn hierarchy in the black community. Look how she got her hand on her bottle. Like, number one. They put him in position to sell their liquor. And he wasn't selling it right. Y'all want to know what really fucked up Diddy's money? I'll show y'all what messed up Diddy's money. This is what messed up Diddy's money. This is where it all started. This is the downfall of Ciroc. When he had Noriega and DJ EFN sounding like some damn idiots over 1 million bottles of Ciroc. They didn't necessarily want their brand to be promoted like this. This is too urban and too black. They would like for Ciroc to be presented in a classy setting around classy people. Diddy is a black businessman, entrepreneur. The people they had sitting in front of them bottles, I don't think Ciroc would have wanted their brand to be associated with half of them people that came up to Drink Champs. You got Africa Bane Bottoms in front of a bottle of Ciroc talking about the little boys was willing. The little boys, they were willing, Nori. I only took pictures because their moms told me to take pictures. While he's sipping on Ciroc. You had a lot of old school legends, ain't have a dollar to their name or a tooth in their mouth, talking in front of a bottle of Ciroc. I don't think the company wanted that type of sponsorship. Who else they had on there? Look, let me see. Who else they had on that damn show? They had Lamar Odom talking about smoking crack. They had BG of the Hot Boys in front of a bottle of Ciroc. It's not good for business, man. They had a bunch of street dudes. John Legend went on Drink Champs. Oh, like I don't drink at all. I'd rather have water, y'all. They had Vlad up there. Kanye West was doing the anti-Semitic rant in front of a bottle of Ciroc. He went up there a couple of times, like, I only drink Ciroc, nigga. Now put that on the table while I talk my shit. Bad for business. Had Akon talking about how he taking over Africa and how he don't like African Americans. Who else they had on the damn show? Lil Wayne was up there. What happened to Drink Champs? They had Uncle Luke talking about his nasty freak off days. The list goes on, man. I don't think that's what they want. That's not what they had in mind when they put that bottle in his damn hand. They ain't think it was going to get that damn ghetto, but it did. Do they still sell Ciroc in the liquor store? Let me look that up real quick, because I don't remember the last time I seen a bottle of Ciroc. Is it still in business? Can you still buy a bottle anywhere? Let me double check. Let me look. I'm gonna need to do some research real fast. Y'all stay tuned. It says, does P. Diddy still own Ciroc? P. Diddy does not own Ciroc vodka. Diageo and Sean Combs resolved the dispute in January 2024, and Diageo now solely owns Ciroc vodka and DeLeon tequila. Combs had a marketing partnership with them, so they just used him for marketing. He also had a 50% stake in DeLeon, which Diego now fully owns. So he never owned Ciroc. He had a 50% stake and DeLeon tequila. Now he no longer, so he's out of the liquor business. He ain't making no more money with them at all. So now they on their own with this shit. Hold on, let me look at their little website. Oh, you got to type in all that stuff to go to their website. I ain't about to put my age out there. I will put my birthday. It's coming up in July, but I ain't about to be doing all that to look at their website. So yeah, we're gonna get back into this. I'm gonna find out some stuff though before I'm done with this, because I'm interested in what's really going on. What rapper owns Ciroc? So no rapper owns it. Diageo becoming the sole owner of Food Dive, so he's done. So Rick Ross owned this liquor. Villion Spice French liquor. So Rick Ross got his own liquor. He better act right, or else they gonna take his shit. Sean Diddy Combs was in the running for ownership of the Panthers. Yo, he was gonna turn the Panthers into the Black Panthers, but the NFL team ultimately went to the winning bidder, David Tepper, for about $2.2 billion back in May. So he was trying to buy the Panthers. Yo, that would have been a sight to see. Diddy own the Black Panthers. Lil Wayne liquor, Bamboo Rum, the Carter 5 is a collaboration. Let me see this shit. Bamboo Rum, the Carter 5. Why they put the Carter 5 on there? You drink that shit, you gonna start rapping his album instantly. That's bad marketing. The Carter 5. Do it come with a CD under the bottle or some shit? $44 for the sipping on that Carter 5. You got to be an ignorant motherfucker to be drinking that shit. Yo, do y'all see this? Get money. They need to put get money on the bottle. I ain't never seen no ignorant shit like that a day in my life. Hold on, we gotta get who else owned the liquor? Ludacris, he owned the liquor. Jay-Z previously owned a minority stake in the Brooklyn Nets. He sold his stake in 2013 due to a conflict with his sports agency. I heard he only had like a 10% stake in the team. They made him get up off that shit quick. Like, you can't have no ownership of no team for real. What does Puff Daddy own? That's what I want to know. What do he own? Makes his bulk of his bucks on booze, particularly his partnership with Diageo Ciroc. His beverage empire also includes. So that's where his money was coming from. He don't own it no more. So he gave everybody their masters back. So that shit done. Ciroc, Sean John clothing. I don't recall nobody wearing that, or I ain't see that in the stores in a long time. So if he do get out, how he gonna get to some money? He gonna have to hopefully he got some real estate or whatever the case is, so he can feed his kids and all that. Jamie Foxx everybody got a damn liquor. That's why the liquor store got 1 million different bottles in there, because these celebrities want to own liquor. Yo, that's real crazy. Let's get back into this real quick. Let me see what I got lined up, because I got some more stuff I want to share with y'all real quick. It's only going to take a second. Y'all stay tuned. And let me see. Okay, we about to get into this real quick. Y'all need to listen to this.
Attorney Joanne Molinaro, let's start with those opening statements. How crucial are these really going to be as the jury sits there and is listening to them?
The opening statement is probably one of the most critical parts of any trial, particularly a trial of this nature. Remember that this jury, this is the first time they're getting to hear from the lawyers, and the lawyers are the ones who are shepherding the jury through this entire 10-week trial with all of the witnesses, with all of the stories that are coming out, all of the documents they're going to be required to look through in sifting through this evidence. And we're seeing that these opening statements are taking a long time.
Yeah.
The prosecutor has already been up there for almost an hour, perhaps longer.
Wow.
They're probably going to have to break for lunch before we hear from the defense.
Wow.
Interesting. Okay, another thing we're watching for, the prosecution could call up Combs' ex-girlfriend, Cassie Ventura. How key is her testimony in this case?
Cassie Ventura is likely to be heard from this afternoon, and there's a reason she's going to be among the first, if not the first witness that the prosecutor is going to put up. Part of that is because we know that this video that we just saw is something that the judge has said, yeah, we are going to let the jury see this. And that is one of the most powerful pieces of evidence that this jury is going to see.
Before we move on, how crucial is it as well? She's pregnant. So the defense has to be very careful as they cross-examine her.
The defense is going to have to be careful with not just Cassie, but with every woman victim that we're going to hear from in this trial. They know this, and they've been through this type of playbook before. On the other hand, the prosecutor is going to be relying on these witnesses to explain their story, to really do a good job of portraying the amount of violence that was going on.
Oh, they gonna hit Cassie with some shit, y'all. Diddy's team, he knows some stuff, and he been in jail thinking it over, and he like the nerve of this woman. He got some dirt on Cassie. Yeah, I think they gonna start slinging that mud in the court. She gonna hiccup. She gonna be stuck. They gonna bring up something. She gonna look at Diddy. He gonna be like, She gonna look dead over at him like, motherfucker. Like, yo, that's right. I told him, what about that, Cassie? The jury gonna be looking at her like, wow. He already letting it be known that the domestic violence was going both ways. So all he need to do is let the cat out the bag and let them know what had him in the fit. It ain't gonna justify him putting hands on her, but he could argue, hell, you know, she did it to me. Either way, he gonna look bad, but she ain't gonna leave there looking like no saint. I know that much. If his team is worth a damn, the people he hired, they ain't worth shit. he should have had Jay-Z's lawyer, because he would have nipped that in the bud and he wouldn't have gave Cassie a motherfucking thing. But like we've been talking about, it's been a systematic effort to tear this dude down. And I must admit, he was doing way too much. But the sad part about it is he was trying to do it for the culture. And I want to talk about that real quick. Because people make a big deal out of this thing. And for the life of me, I don't understand why. Yo, remember when the Migos was hot? And they was just the hottest rap group. And they had that album, The Culture. I think they did like 3 of them. The Culture 1, Culture 2. They was just going on and on about the culture. And it's like, okay, when they say the culture, I'm assuming they talking about black culture or hip hop culture, but it's black culture in a nutshell. They trying to put on for people of color or whatever the case is. But what they fail to realize is that everybody not gonna ride. When it's hot, it's hot. People gonna rock with you when you hot. But when you not hot, people not riding no more. That's the messed up part about the culture. And I think the Migos found out the hard way. They was putting on so hard for the culture. And essentially the culture is what caused their demise. They put on for the culture too much. The culture not gonna love you back. The culture gonna love you when you popping, but the culture eventually gonna take you out. I feel like the culture is the reason why Takeoff lost his life. Rest in peace. He was out there gambling, and he was in H-Town with mob ties doing, for the culture. Wound up losing his life. Offset got with Cardi B, the first lightest, brightest thing he could find for the culture, because that's what they rap about, having something exotic. Quavo, he getting played out by these thirsty gold digging chicken heads, Sweet Tea, and all these other hoes beefing with Chris Brown over Karuchi Trans and all this BS for the culture. And living that life eventually. I don't know what's going on with the Migos right now. They definitely not a group no more. I know that much. So this is something y'all need to see too. This is what Diddy was on. He was on that black. They all was on it. Jay-Z was on it. Black excellence. What do that mean? They put the definition up there. Let me I need to get that real quick. He was standing with his fist up, doing it for the culture, talking about black ownership, black business, black entrepreneurs and everything. Come to find out, he didn't own a damn thing. He had people believing he was the owner of Ciroc, first black man with a liquor company, black supporter, black business by Ciroc and DeLeon. He ain't own a goddamn thing, but at the same time, throwing up a fist and doing wasn't nothing excellent about it was all a front. So this is a prime example. When you see people and you think they powerful and you think they got money, and you got Diddy, the Migos, you got Takeoff right there, Offset, Quavo, got Jaden Smith, Wiz Khalifa. They had the Rock Nation brunches giving toasts to black excellence. Jay-Z out here trying to get a loan. So it was all up front, man. They all was working for them people. They basically had 9 to 5s. They don't own shit. It looked good. I seen something the other day. They said the company that sell the most prop money, sell that money to rappers. Russell Simmons and Andre Harrell taught Diddy everything he knows. They both groomed him. I don't think they own shit. They just know how to make it look good. But that's Negro here nor there, man. Yo, let me look at this real quick, because I'm trying to understand. I like to learn when I do these videos. I need to see the meaning of this shit. Look, when you type in Black excellence, meaning this nigga pop up for Diddy on Black excellence signifies tapping into the unique strength, magic, and power within Black people, even when facing adversity. We're gonna see how excellent this blackness is. We're gonna see if he gonna be able to tap in to that unique strength and magic and power within Black people now that he facing adversity. Let's see if the culture gonna get him out of jail. Let's see if the people rally behind Diddy and get some to help him in these times of need. You got people out here, they wake up in the morning, first thing that come out their mouth is fuck Diddy. Black X. And I ain't saying Black ain't excellence, but if you expecting somebody to do something for you that you can't do for yourself, it's gonna come with a hefty price. It might be your dignity, your manhood, your freedom, and your sanity. He said it's about overcoming obstacles and demonstrating resilience while striving for brilliance and success. He emphasizes the importance of embracing one's identity and celebrating the achievements of Black individuals and communities. That sounds excellent. But where did that, what's going on with it? Now, is there, I would love to ask him, Diddy, is there still Black excellence? He might bust out crying. Like, ain't no goddamn, he might say, ain't no goddamn Black excellence. Overcoming adversity. Diddy's definition of Black excellence emphasizes the resilience and preservance of Black individuals who have faced significant challenges and discrimination. He highlights the ability to rise above adversity with love and strengthen their hearts. Shit, man. He preaching to I don't know who he preaching to. He preaching to a brick wall. Because his ass is about to be facing life. And they got Cassie working his ass. You got all these. There ain't a Black person there to help him. Where your Black excellent lawyer? He hired a Black excellence lawyer and he got the fuck out of there. Hold on. Look. Hold on. He said, hold on. I gotta type this in. Crow. See. Oh my God, I gotta type it in. Yo, this is crazy. Let me pull this up for y'all real quick. Oh my God. I don't know which way. Yeah. No. I ain't gonna do that. Let me do this. Oh my God. This is so crazy. Can y'all see this? Ain't no Cassie like a Diddy. Ain't no case like a Diddy case. Diddy's lawyer quits before the damn trial. And we talking about a Black lawyer. Hold on. This is what I wanted to see. I got to turn this up.
Presented Osama bin Laden. And he has said, allegedly, that under no circumstances, can I continue to work for P. Diddy. Do you know how much of a corrupt, villain, evil person P. Diddy must be to make a lawyer that's once worked with Osama bin Laden quit? The man has represented the worst of the worst, yet he doesn't want to work for P. Diddy and represent him because one of his charges is something called necromancy. Now, I've just Googled it and I am disgusted. But yeah, this has been enough to make his lawyer not want to work with him anymore. Surely this...
Look, now Diddy's lawyer quit because he accused Diddy of necromancy. And for the people that know what it is, that's what's up. But for the people that don't, let me show y'all real quick. No. Yeah. Y'all guys see this. Necromancy, the supposed practice of communicating with the dead, especially in order to predict the future, sorcery, or Black magic in general. Now, what did Diddy say a Black excellence was? He said, tapping into the unique strength, magic, and power within Black people, even when facing adversity. So his lawyer, a black man, got the fuck out of there because Diddy was tapping into his black energy, practicing black magic. Like, you from Uganda, old nigga, I'm gonna win this case, man. Matter of fact, look me in my eyes, man. Notorious Big, is that you? Tupac, what you doing in there? Oh shit, man, yo, you been tainted with some bad spirits, brother. What we gonna do? We gonna sit you with my mother, and she gonna put this oil on your head. His lawyer ran the fuck out of there. Like, this nigga crazy. He was the necromancy. He had me talking like Biggie. It was all a dream. I used to read Word Up magazines, Salt and Pepper and Heavy D up in the limousine. Painting pictures on my wall. Painted in blood. Is it Magic Molly Mall? His lawyer lost his damn mind. He said Sean Diddy Combs' lawyer, Anthony Rico, has made the decision to withdraw from the music mogul's criminal sex trafficking case just weeks before the trial is due to start. Rico, who was once a defense attorney for Osama bin Laden, is y'all seeing this? Once an attorney for Osama bin Laden, is one of 5 lawyers who were sent to represent Combs in his upcoming sex trial. He got the fuck out of there. Rico filed a motion requesting a withdrawal on February 21st. He said, under no circumstances can I continue to effectively serve as counsel for Sean Combs, consistent with the ABA standards for criminal justice. He was going to use that man melanin. Them other lawyers, he shit out of luck. He was going to use that brother to get things to work in his favor. Like, okay, you can present Diddy now. Please stand. And nigga be like, like, order in the court. He make the damn jury catch the Holy Ghost. Like, oh my God, I get it. They whatever he say, they respond back. No, they be like, like, that's right. Make them dance. You know, that's that hard work. That's that black excellence right there. You know what I'm saying? Tap into their energy and shit. And then get off in about 2 days. He said, tapping into the unique strength, magic, and power within black people, even when facing adversity. Maybe Jennifer Lopez taught him that shit. Like, Diddy, you have a gift, you know? You don't know, but I know your gift. I'm going to show you how to use it because, you know, when I was a fly girl that didn't live in color, it was them niggas that got me where I was at, just being around them, you know? Keenan, Marlon, Sean, every last one, I tap into their energy. And that's how I was able to make movies. That's how I was able to do shows. That's how I was able to become a celebrity. It could have been J-Lo that taught him how to do it, man. Like, you black people are so stupid. You don't understand your power. That's why we use it, and you don't have a clue that we use you. Everybody does it, stupid. Wake up. You are like a battery. Like, is that right? Black people like batteries, huh? All I gotta do is tap into their energy and get whatever I want. Like, exactly. It was J-Lo that put them on. Cardi B did the same thing with Offset. Hold on, look at this, y'all. It's only gonna take a second. Yo, I guarantee you that Takeoff and Quavo was trying to holler first. Like, I want the blackest nigga in your group. Y'all ain't black enough. I need that energy. I'll make $1 million with this one right here. Yeah, I get all his energy. That's that black magic, baby. Have my big black baby. I'm gonna be one rich bitch when you put that big black baby inside of me. She was talking just like that chick that Shannon Sharp was dealing with. Like, yeah, I want to have all of your babies. Yeah, give me all your energy. Yeah. He busting the room. There ain't nothing but candles in there. Like, what the fuck going on, dog? I bust in the room, Carter had my drawers laying in the middle of some candles, man. I don't think I'll ever be able to lead a bitch. Like, that's my man. That's my energy. Shit, did he know what time it is? Like, I ain't hire Biggie because he knew how to rap. I ain't hire him. I hire him because he was fat, black, and ugly as ever. However, he had a lot of energy, though. This man said, Black excellence signifies tapping into the unique strength, magic, and power within Black people, even when facing adversity. Like, long as I got niggas around, I'm always gonna have a plantation. Long as I got niggas working for me, I ain't never gonna go broke, feel me? Put a nigga to work, you know what I'm saying? Give a nigga a job and say, take that, take that, take that, take that. Down here got Black people running for the hills like, nope, you ain't getting us this time, nigga. Like, you don't use us enough. Maybe that's why Black people done with Diddy. Like, that nigga been using my energy for the past 30 years. I done been to all his concerts, bought all his. I'm sick of giving my energy to Diddy. Maybe that's why he can't catch a break. He ain't got no Black people in his corner no more. Like, damn, man, ain't no more excellence, man. Fuck these lawyers and shit. Get me some excellence out this bitch. Hey, he did hire a new Black female lawyer, didn't he? Look, Diddy, hold on, Diddy, Black woman lawyer. Oh my God, man, he dead. Look, y'all gotta see this. He hired this woman. Diddy trial. I got my second Black lawyer. Feds have none. Like, yeah, I'm back Black and more excellent than ever. That other nigga ran out of. She need to get the hell away from Diddy. She's shrinking every time she show up to work. Like, damn, I was 5'3", now I'm only 4'11". What the hell going on? Her head gonna shrink. Hold on, look at this. Look. Let me pull this up real quick. It's only gonna take a second while I'm being goofy. Look. And I'm about to show y'all how old I really am. Look, she gonna show up to court looking like this. They gonna be sitting waiting to do the Diddy trial. Her whole head gonna shrink. Like, what the fuck is going on? Nigga put that necromancy on your ass. Look, that's how she gonna be looking at the Diddy trial. Like, what the fuck he do to me? Like, I need to use your energy. I'm trying to get the fuck out of jail, Black excellence, baby. Like, I need to find another job ASAP. Oh my God, man. Hold on, where's she at? She need to get the fuck out of there, man. She playing with a whole nother animal. He ain't worried about it. Like, you have something I don't have. We're gonna win this case, baby. Like, if I got you, Diddy gonna make it do what it do. The Indian man looked nervous as hell. Like, do I have melanin? I don't know. I have to check with my family. Yo, did y'all hear the Pope is Black? We'll talk about that on another video. He said having 2 African-American lawyers on Diddy's legal team is an interesting move, considering that his camp pointed to race as a major factor in what they say is a federal takedown of a rich, successful Black man. So we gonna see what it do, man. I think this dude is against Diddy. I don't think this lawyer really got love for him like that. TMZ all on it. We just gonna have to wait and see, man. Hold on, I want to finish listening to this real quick before I get out of here. Yo, check this out.
Careful with not just Cassie, but with every woman victim that we're going to hear from in this trial. They know this, and they've been through this type of playbook before. On the other hand, the prosecutor is going to be relying on these witnesses to explain their story, to really do a good job of portraying the amount of violence that was going on in this enterprise. That word enterprise is so important. That was one of the first words that we heard out of the prosecutor's mouth this morning is this was an enterprise. So this is not just isolated incidents of violence. This is something that went on for 2 decades.
Trying to show a pattern of
Exactly.
So during jury selection, there was this list that came out of all these very notable celebrities. Are we going to hear from each of them? Do we know kind of how they play into this case? Any details?
One of the things that the prosecution has done, I think very well in this case, is they've held a lot of things very, very close to the vest. And that's because they don't want to show their cards, not just to defense, but to the jury, to the public, to all of us who are kind of watching this every single day. And so it's a little bit unclear how this is all going to play out. One thing we did hear last week was that they are missing one of their crucial witnesses. There are potentially 4 witnesses that we were supposed to hear from, and they can't seem to find one of them. So that will also play out over the next several weeks.
Interesting. Okay, one of the headlines this morning is that Combs's mother and children are in the courtroom. They showed up early this morning. Will that impact the jury?
100%. Absolutely. The jury is going to notice everything from the kind of clothes that Combs is wearing to who is sitting in the courtroom with him to the kind of conversations and whisperings that are going on. All of that goes into the, sorry to say, the theatrics of a jury trial.
Well, that all plays into it.
Absolutely.
Sure. Joanne, thank you so much for being with us this morning.
It's a pleasure being here, ladies.
We appreciate your insight. All right.
Well, that's what's going on this summer, y'all. We got a Diddy trial on our hands. I'm going to be covering it nonstop, back to back. I'm going to hit y'all with that Diddy news as much as possible, man. We're going to be back with more Diddy news. We're going to Diddy it up, man. You're going to be thinking about Diddy when you wake up, Diddy at night, just Diddy, Diddy, Diddy. That's what's happening in the world today. It really ain't nothing else interesting happening as far as I'm concerned, as far as celebrity news go. A lot of people getting into the relationship talk. They talking about the 304s or the modern women, people interested in that. And it's a lot of, real deep down ghetto news, like people getting shot, people getting killed, like the trap rappers and shit like that. So I kind of stay in the Diddy parameter, because if you get me started talking about modern day women and stuff, that's not going to be a good look. Because I will have a lot to say about the men as well. Nobody would be happy if I gave my take on it, men or women, young or old. But you got people that find that type of stuff interesting. And I'm interested. I listen to it, but it don't do nothing but trigger hate. It's just causing a bigger divide between men and women. So this Cassie situation, at least it's not a black on black thing. It's a black on whatever Cassie is type of thing. Because if Cassie was a sister, I don't even think it would have made the news like that. Kim Porter lost her life, and people were saying Diddy had something to do with it and shit. That didn't go to trial, and you figure it would. You figure they would investigate. She wrote a book and everything. People were saying that he was going to take her out before she died. And, it really didn't do nothing like that. Kim Porter died on November 15, 2018 in Toluca Lake, California after experiencing flu-like symptoms. They saying that they've been screaming at the top of their lungs, it's Diddy, 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 Diddy. And nobody, even looked at him as a serious suspect in the case. They said she died from pneumonia. How you die from pneumonia in California? I could see if she was in Vermont or something like that. Somebody said he really worked hard, Sean. I'm the one working hard. I'm putting in overtime with this Diddy news. Real talk. Said the code. Matter of fact, I'm gonna take these last couple of minutes to see what y'all talking about real quick. Said the culture is a haunted house. With that profile picture, you might want to move. We don't know what's going on over there. She a TLC fan trying to get y'all that red light special and got the nerve to be talking about Diddy a freak. And I don't mean no disrespect. I'm just saying. He said, you right. That's all I need to hear sometimes, man. As long as y'all agree with me being right, that's all that really matter, man. Yo, hello. Who this is, man?
Hey, what's up? It's your girl. Hey, sis, got a moment. How you doing?
Oh, man, I'm doing amazing. So glad you called in. What's on your mind, sister?
Man, I just wanted to say, I think that Diddy's in the best place until we get to the bottom of what's really going on with him. If they let him out too soon, and if he did do, unfortunately, some of those things, people that do those things all the time are going to think that they'll be able to get away with it. Mm-hmm. And then if we don't get to the bottom of it and he didn't do those things, then it's going to be looked at as another Black man in our community getting railroaded. So I think that he should just stay there until he has his trial and until we see what the evidence produces.
Well, he having his trial now. They putting together the evidence, but all they letting us know is that there's a possibility that they're gonna be mentioning some A-list celebrities. That's all people excited about. They not saying anything about these freak off tapes that they was alleging to have, because in order for them to produce that, they would have to show the people that was participating in the tape.
Right. And I think, too, in addition to showing the people that was participating, I think people that was letting this type of behavior go on without saying a word, those people, too, are a little bit nervous with how we're going to look at them. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how we look at them. It doesn't matter how we look at Diddy. What matters is that we stop this type of behavior. Because I could tell you, as a woman, even just doing something simple as walking your kids in the park, people are always looking to prey on you, and that's men and that's women as well. Mm-hmm. So it's just a matter of there are some weird people in this world, and then there are people that are just trying to live their everyday life and do the best that they can. I don't want to use the word normal because, what is that? But I'm just trying to say, the common members of society, Yeah. I think Diddy took it too far. It's not a problem what you do in your bedroom, but you just can't advertise it and you can't leak it into music where youthful people can hear it and think that type of stuff is okay. Mm-hmm. And every day, you got to stop at a point.
Yeah, you got to be socially responsible, especially at that height where you have all eyes on you and, he had, I believe these podcasts was really getting people in trouble because they're speaking on things publicly that everybody don't need to know.
I agree. I think that's become the norm, which is strange. What you do in your bedroom is your private business. Mm-hmm. And I think what people get mad is when it becomes known. And then some people are like, oh, you that's really against the law. And then everybody is up in arms like, no, that's not against the law. That's okay to do. My cousin did that for years. Well, your cousin was doing something that was against the law too. You know what I'm saying? So it's like a catch-22. It's like glad that it's out of the bedroom, but at the same time, if you had kept your business to yourself, no one could judge you. Not to say that it's right, not to say that it's wrong. No one would have been the wiser. Yeah. But you become so careless with it, and I think people start to get to a point where they think going to the extreme of freakiness is okay. Mm-hmm. The body was only meant to do so much. Yeah. That's come so on, true. People, let's chill out. It don't gotta be zebras and donkeys all in, chill. Mm-hmm. It's okay.
Yeah, that's like going to a company meeting and speaking on your sex life. It's not a good look.
It's not a good look, and it's totally unnecessary, bro. You don't got nothing else to talk about. There's no other intellectual property in your mind that you could display other than how far you could spread your legs or how what your meat piece look like. It's not necessary. We all know what meat piece look like. We all know a flexible girl. It's not necessary anymore. It's not even. I guess they're trying to shock us. Or they're trying to shame us to think that us normal people, what you guys are doing is lame. No, what we're doing is what the body was designed to do. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's like people who like to cook and then they putting pineapples and mushrooms together, talking about its creativity. It might be creative, but it's still unnecessary.
Yeah.
You know
there's,
what I'm saying?
Yeah, there's a time and place for everything. They have podcasts, they have a setting like they're in a barbershop, having barbershop conversation for the world to hear. Now, I know you've been to some beauty salons before, and women in there, they talking, probably speaking on stuff they probably shouldn't be speaking of, but they speaking of it in the place to where everybody's not going to hear it. If you heard it, you heard it, but it's not on a podcast. It's not going out to different countries and things like that. People got to be mindful that, they're incriminating themselves and others when they speaking on stuff like that.
I agree, man. And people don't know the corporation that we live in called the United States of America has some things written as laws that people don't know are laws. So I would definitely challenge people, like, if you're doing something and you feel questionable about it, before you tell anybody, you need to hit that Google and make sure that what you're about to tell or put out there is not illegal. Because I'm tired of people trying to make us feel sorry for people that are making judgments without any type of research. Y'all wouldn't feel sorry for me if I jumped out the gym with something and then who's going to be like, oh, well, poor hey sis. No, they're going to be like, well, she should have used better judgment, or I wouldn't have did that, So it's just, that's why I'm glad you have your podcast, because it gives people a chance to think. It gives people a chance to express views that we hold inside sometimes as the collective, because I think most people are on a chiller level. We might turn up every now and then, but never to the extreme where it will cause somebody bodily injury, or it could be looked at as questionable as if it was a crime.
Right.
So these are good conversations to have, because it'll make people think. And somebody today might be like, nah, I don't agree with that. But then tomorrow, as they sit with it, it might resonate in their spirit. And they're like, yo, maybe I need to chill. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I'm not cut out for jail. Maybe prison is not for me.
And there's a lot of pressure to keep up with the modern world. It's a lot of stuff that we don't agree with, but in order to survive, you gotta deal with it to a certain extent. We live in some crazy times, but it's starting to seem like you have to be just as crazy as the times in order to survive. And if you're not willing to go along with the program, you're just gonna be left behind.
And that's what they really kind of are trying to get us to believe. But you and I both know that if you stand your ground and you stand for something, people are going to look at you and say, dang, that person is not complying with the rest of us. Why? And then they're going to start looking into it. And then they're more than likely going to find that, hey, this might have been the original train of thought, what y'all are on, or something different, something modified, genetically modified thinking that they're trying to put into your brain to make you do outrageous things and really destroy yourself. So you might want to listen to the wisdom of those who've been here a little bit longer, or not have been here longer, but have experienced more, so they have more wisdom.
You want to know what it is? Back in the day, you will find yourself in peer pressure situations. You around some friends and they smoking and you don't smoke, and they, hey man, we all smoking. Why you not smoking? Just take a hit. You find yourself in peer pressure situations, and back then you had ways around that. If you knew they smoke and you don't want to smoke, just don't be around them. Now we have peer pressure situations in every situation.
Oh man, you hitting it right on the head, man. It's like you could go to the store and somebody drop $1 and you go to pick it up to hand it back to the person, and the person behind you be like, I wouldn't have did that.
Exactly.
And you know what I'm saying? For a minute, you be like, oh, what should I do?
Now you lame. Now you soft. Now you all of this because you sincere, especially with men out there. We get called soft for doing any damn thing, for being sincere, having a heart, having a thought. You got to be a damn gorilla to get some respect out here as a man. And I can't speak for the women, but it's hard. Like, brothers, that's why there's so many men in jail, because you got all of this pressure to prove some machoism to people that got it all fucked up.
I totally agree. I definitely feel so bad for the male species. I mean, down to even the animals. It's like they're trained to be more aggressive. They're looked at to be more aggressive. And then when they don't meet those standards, which is not scientifically possible, the only thing is you all do have more strength. You know what I'm saying? It's just biological. But all those other factors, being mean, being aggressive, not having any emotions, those are simply not true. And they've been studied. Those are simply not true. But when you do find a man that has the balance of himself, then you find a beautiful thing. Yeah. Then you find a unique thing. Then you find something that is amazing and breathtaking and
Real
makes
talk.
you want to be a better woman.
Real talk. But you gotta have that balance, and not to cut you off, but women, I feel like a lot of y'all is under a whole lot of peer pressure. You see what people doing to their bodies. People feel like they gotta keep up with a standard of beauty that's not true. People feel like they gotta have this, gotta have that, gotta drive this. You know, I can only imagine there's a lot of pressure for women as well.
You know what? I'm not going to lie. The pressure is heavy because everybody, and God forgive me for saying this, everybody wants to be considered a bad bitch. Even me, like I'm a Christian to the heart, old believer. But when I'm getting ready to go out, I'm like I find myself like putting on people like Glorilla and like, yeah, girl, like hyping myself up. And I know divinely that is not even something that I want to confess to on Judgment Day. Like, yeah, I was in the bathroom listening to Glorilla. I'm trying to walk a straight line in the other areas of my life, but when it comes to like me getting ready to go out to dinner, I'm all in the bathroom like, yeah, Glow. So it is a lot of pressure. I'm telling you, it's a lot of pressure. So you have to get checked. So like basically what happened was I wanted to get my body done. I lost 160 pounds. So I was like, you know what? People are like, oh, you look so good, blah, 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 blah. So, but in my mind, I'm like, but I would look better as a prototype. I would look better with the tiny waist and the perfect size and the perfect breast. Like I would look better. And my husband is like, are you doing that for yourself? Or are you doing that to stand out in society? Or are you doing that to bring you closer to the Lord? Which one of those things would you be doing this for? And you know what? To be honest, Sean, I had to really look myself in the mirror and say, wow, sis, you drank the Kool-Aid.
Damn.
You drank the Kool-Aid. They got you. They couldn't get you no other way, but they got you to really think about mutilating your body and going back up to the Most High in a way that He didn't create you to be. And whether you believe it or not, those chemicals that they're putting in your body to manufacture you are going to start affecting your thinking, are going to start affecting your beliefs. So do you want to make that type of decision? And I'm so glad, because I can talk to you from an honest place, that I said, no, I'm going to continue to go to the gym 5 days a week. I'm going to continue to eat my 3 ounces of chicken and my broccoli until I get to a body type that I've earned, and that I can go through the true stages of what the Most High wants me to go through in order to become the woman that He's created me to be.
That's
so
real.
Even though we have pressure, we have a lot of pressure, men and women. We just have to keep checking ourselves, dog. Like we have to keep checking ourselves, because if not, we'll go wild.
And by going the route that you went, you don't have to live a lie. You know, because if you would have went the other route, you would have been happen to meet this alter ego, whoever this person was in the mirror. You would have had to adjust to that person, and most likely you would have lost yourself in the process.
Didn't even think about that, my brother. Wow.
Yeah. It's like wearing a costume. You wear 24. Now it's one thing, like you said, you get dressed up and you get real dolled up and you go to the club and all that stuff for the night. But imagine wearing a costume that you not gonna take off. You have to stay in character.
Oh, that would be so extremely exhausting, because I'm really like a background person, but that body wouldn't say background. That body would say, meet me in the front line. You know, that body would be saying that. So you're absolutely right. It would not match my character. It would not match who I was. And I would be having to be in costume all day.
All day,
And I
every
think
day.
that's what happened to Diddy. You know, his hair is naturally gray. He's naturally an older man, but he was dyed black. He's not, his body wants to be heavier to protect his bones because the collagen is getting thinner and thinner. So your body naturally produces more fat. Just in case you fall, you have more cushion so you don't break a hip or break a bone. But as people get older, they're working against, that to keep themselves thin. But he doesn't want to be in the body that he is in. He wants to be known as a sex symbol. And naturally, he's not really a sex symbol. But I mean, not to me, but maybe to someone else. But it is a costume. And that costume got him in big trouble.
That's so true, man. And it goes beyond his hair and things like that. It's more about the character that he selected to be, and that's a major part of it. Because women, like how Beyonce got Sasha Fierce, that's her alter ego. People have alter egos in their own personal life, but some people go out their way to bring that alter. They how can I put it? They sacrifice themselves so their alter ego can live.
You are absolutely. You are. And I think they do it when they feel like, oh, the old me, I can leave behind now. Because maybe there was something about that old them that didn't resonate quality to them. But this alter ego resonated everything that they thought they wanted. But at the end of the day, you still are who you are. And at the beginning of the day, you are who you are because you wake up as yourself. And now you have to, like you said, I'll never forget that. Put on your costume, my Lord.
Some cold stuff,
Thank
man.
you.
You know what?
Thank you so much for letting me talk to you
I
today.
appreciate it. And this can't be the last time, man. The phone line's back open. Your conversation is super interesting. You got a lot of great insight. I'm looking forward to talking to you again very, very soon.
Absolutely. Absolutely. If you ever need me, just say, hey, sis, got a moment? And I'll be right there, boo.
Oh, no doubt. Hey, sis, we going to talk sooner than later. Make sure you enjoy your day. We going to talk soon. Got so much love for you. I'm going to holler at you later. Real talk, man. You be good.
All right. Blessings and peace be unto y'all. Bye-bye.
Right, no doubt. Goodbye, man. Whoever her husband is, he a lucky man. He saved himself. He dodged the bullet, because if she would have went out there and got that work done, man, that would have been the end of whatever he talked her off the cliff. Shout out to him, because with a personality like that, with the body on top of it, he would have had to go get some work done. But oh hell no, he would have came home with the fake six-pack, put some beef broth in his muscles. He would have came home looking like Carrot Top or somebody. Yo, shout out to that sister. But she made the right choice. She did the right thing. And a lot of y'all women like, fuck that. I'm going to go ahead and do what I got to do. But like I said, man, you're going to lose yourself in the process, because you're going to have to switch over. But people do it all the time. Like, there's kids in school right now. They want to sit at that table with the cool kids, but being themselves ain't going to be good enough. They're going to have to switch it up. They're going to have to wear shit that they don't necessarily like. And that's why them damn Jordans is so possible. I swear to y'all. Let me show y'all something real quick before I get out of here. These niggas be ugly as hell. Them shit, they ugly. They stupid looking and they hurt your feet. What about them is hot? They look like some alien shoes. The logo big, the logo stupid. But they hot. That's what niggas wearing. So, even if you don't like them, your best bet is to get a pair, because everybody else gonna like them. They don't like you. They like your shoes. They be like, I hate your guts, but I love them sneakers right there. Now, I ain't gonna front. These the ones right here. I love them. Them the ones, but they hurt your motherfucking feet. I remember them shits. They came out back in the day with the Grand Hills, with the feelers and shit. Nothing but hard plastic, y'all. Hard plastic. you better off walking on concrete. But because it's popular demand and everybody agree that this is the shoe, people will spend their top dollar just to wear a pair of these, man. I ain't going front. I like the way them look, but it's hard plastic on them things. These two, you wear these things for a week, they're going to be all folded on the inside. These are like sneaker socks. You can only wear them for so long. But hey, if you want to be cool and you want, the people's choice, you're going to have to go ahead and get you a pair of these. Now, this is what I decided to wear. This is what I'm doing nowadays, people. Oh, damn, I can't even, y'all not even seeing what I'm looking at. God damn it. Hold on, let me go back. Because I was showing the Jordans. Y'all ain't even see the Jordans. I do apologize, man. I was talking about these sneakers. Ugly as hell. Ugly as hell. My bad. Y'all couldn't see the sneakers. Y'all can see it now. I was talking about that hard ass plastic at the bottom of the sneaker. Them shits is ugly. Hideous. You can't tell me this is a good looking shoe. But people will wear these all day, every day, feet bleeding. Y'all heard what I said. Y'all just couldn't see what I was saying. Okay, but let me show y'all what I'm on now. This is what I'm doing. These, I moved on. I'm not buying Jordans no more. If it ain't Brooks, I ain't putting it on my feet. Y'all want to talk about comfort and your feet feeling good and you could run 10 miles and don't feel shit? I don't know what y'all do for work or what y'all got going on, but this is luxury. It may not look like how you want it to look or whatever the case is, but get you a pair of these, you will not be disappointed. It will change your life. And you see them people out there jogging and running and they up early in the morning. You be like, why the fuck are they up early in the morning running? But that's because they got some damn clouds on their feet. They don't mind running in these. They be getting there with them shoes on. Be walking around all day, standing all day, don't feel nothing. Ever since I got these, I don't even feel my feet. I go jogging for miles, don't feel nothing. So I recommend the next time you want to spend $200 on some sneakers, them Jordans gonna fuck your feet up. Somebody said they look goofy. Shit, they do look goofy, but they feel comfy. And they worth every damn. Look, you put your feet in these one good time. Take 10 steps and tell me how you really feel about these. But that's Negro here, no there, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this video in the comment section. We're going to be back with Mo Diddy. I got so much love for y'all. And go out there and get some Brooks. I promise you, you won't be disappointed. It's time to move on. Excuse me. It's time to move on, people. It's time to do something new. It ain't got to be popular in order for you to do it. You know what I'm saying? This all summer, this is what I'm doing. So I just want to let y'all know. I switched the game up. And it is what it is. Yo, I'm going to holler at y'all soon. So much love for y'all. Y'all be good. I'm going to holler at y'all.